The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Get $40 off a furnace or AC tune-up, or double your savings and get $80 off when you get them done at the same time. Visit standardheating.com to save now.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
Today is National Dentist Day.
Is this real life?
Why the hell do you brush your teeth at work? The bathroom's full of poop and pee, and now you rub that on your teeth. So brush my teeth.
My dentist, too, that's another one. My teeth were all getting yellow. He told me to wear a brown necktie. And he told me I got a big bone loss. I said, you too? My wife told me the same thing, you know?
Look, the tooth fairy. I put a tooth under my pillow, and she gave me $2.
Oh my, she must think that you are a very special little muffin.
Yeah, this is so...
Don't say Eric.
Oh, I mean, this is so cool.
If you're a dentist, will you stop asking us how often we floss? You know. I don't know why it matters to you. My root canal's paying off your Tesla. You shouldn't want me to floss. If I were a dentist, I'd be the richest dentist. Like, yeah, mouthwash burns. I don't use it either. Anyway, that'll be $11,000. See you next week. Grab a cookie on the way out.
Please, National Dentist Day.
Why is this happening to me?
It's showtime.
Music has been taken out of this portion of the Half-Ass Morning Show podcast for licensing reasons.
That's pretty sweet.
I always liked this riff and this album.
It's high-speed dirt. Well, no, Skin of My Teeth.
Skin of My Teeth,
Sorry.
correct. On National Dentist Day. Sometimes, you just look for national days where it'd be inappropriate to play a Megadeth song. How do I play a Megadeth song this morning?
How can I sneak that in? Skin of My Teeth. That's impressive. There you go, and here we go with a fresh edition of the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. National Dentist Day, huh, Josh?
Today's the day. We were mentioning yesterday, we gave a shout out to dental assistants, as it is National Dental Assistants Appreciation Week.
Good Lord.
I've had plenty of dental appointments canceled because the dentist I go to, there's like something's going on. There's a revolving door of hygienists where they'll call and say, yeah, your hygienist doesn't work here anymore. I'm starting to worry that it's me. like this guy keeps coming. I can't work here. I can't work with this guy.
I'm out.
This has happened 3 times in the last 2 years.
That's a lot.
The first thought I had, it wasn't you, Josh. It was that maybe there's some funny business going on in there.
Well, that's what I thought after the second time. First time I was like, well, that's unfortunate. I really enjoyed, her as my hygienist. Many years seen her. And then the second one came and went. And then the third one came and went. And I thought, my God, it's me. There's no way there could be 3 in a row.
No way.
Of course, you would think it was you. That's kind of how you're wired. But is the dentist a dude?
No, it's, well, another thing about it.
Because I was thinking, love triangle, scandal, broken relationships, sexual tension.
Well, it could be still just with female dentists.
Well, of course it could be, sure.
Maybe that's part of it. But yeah, there's been 2 female dentists now that have left.
I kind of want to get a ticket to this show.
Yeah, something's happening over there.
Get cameras in there for a reality show. Find out what's going on.
Hell, just a few months ago, I was as unfamiliar with a dentist's office as anyone could possibly be. A dentist office and what goes on inside of one might as well have been another planet. I couldn't tell you word one about what goes on in there. But recently, after I think it was 19 years or so, I finally went to see a dentist and in turn allowed him to see me, and it wasn't all that bad. So again, if I can serve as motivation for folks who shy away from such things, swing on in. It ain't that bad. Odds are you'll show up and they'll let you go home. My fear was I'll show up and they're going to keep me because something so horrific. They'll look into my yap and go, oh, for Christ, we've never even heard of that. And they keep me.
They're called a medical miracle.
They let me go home. They did.
They're calling dentists from all over town. Hey, you got to get over here now. You got to check this out. I've never seen anything like this before.
Yeah, I'm going to publish this and become famous.
I think this guy was a pirate at one time.
I mean, I went when I was 5 or 6. I think I went a couple times when I was in junior high, and then I didn't go. And then I went when I was 33 years old, and I didn't go again until earlier. See what I'm saying? And then they still let me go home.
There was a time, for a long time actually, where I went 3 times a year because I never floss. And so I thought maybe I could make up for it if I go 3 times every year. And our insurance covered it. Now they figured it out, and they won't let me do that anymore.
That's a good idea, though.
Is my memory off? But I thought maybe just yesterday we got a text from a listener. I think when you were giving your final shout-outs of the day, Josh, yesterday or the day before, somebody I thought texted in and said, wish me luck. I'm going to the dentist for the first time in 15 years or so.
Yeah, it was like 11 years, I think they said.
It can be done. Just saying, it can be done.
This person said there's a huge dental hygienist shortage. They're jumping jobs for better offers, $60 an hour plus.
Wow.
Well, that's too bad. I mean, I bet that job is pretty gross at times.
Oh, I bet it is.
And, I've heard stories about creepy clients, maybe some old guys that like to stare in the wrong direction, whether that be directly into the hygienist's eyes or directly into her breasts, one of the two.
Yeah, maybe they might even get a little handsy, maybe.
Oh, I don't know. I hope not.
Squeeze.
That's why I always hated the dentist. I don't know where to look. Do you burn your eyes out? Do you look at their breasts and then they know that you're looking at their breasts?
Well, can I answer the second question? And it's a very easy answer. No, you don't look at their breasts. And there's pictures of cats on the ceiling and things like that. That's what you look at. And you got sunglasses on.
I usually just close my eyes.
And then
Is that weird?
They try to talk to you with all the instruments in your mouth, and you're.
I didn't have that problem. I didn't have any of the problems you're describing, Wapple, because they put sunglasses on me, like Josh said. They put sunglasses on me, and they didn't ask me Jack Ola. They didn't try to get me to talk when they were. And I'm telling you, they had every instrument in the room in my mouth. They did at one point or another. They didn't ask me to say anything to them.
It's not like you can just fall asleep too. Like, they. All right, open your mouth, spit. Don't choke.
Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's not a cakewalk, but...
Local 34 Jesus said his sister's a hygienist and suggests, the awkward stare and stuff like that is why they have you wear sunglasses. I remember as a kid, up till I was a young adult, there was never any sunglasses. And nothing seemed to change. I don't know. Maybe, and I thought, well, maybe they're picking on me because they know how stupid I look in sunglasses.
I was going to say, do you get self-conscious around your dentist even when you have to put the sunglasses on?
Absolutely.
Those are the worst ones, too.
I requested not to wear them once, and they're like, nope, you got to put them on.
And then my head is so small that they have to give me the kids' pair of sunglasses. That's embarrassing.
There's like Ariel from The Little Mermaid on the frames.
You just got a little pea head.
So small.
Little pea head. It's like a pin tip. Here's a text message from Bug-Eye Wagon Jesus on National Dentist Day or whatever the hell it is. It's not the fear of the dentist, he says. It's the fear of the ridiculous bill afterwards.
Boy, those can pile up. I mean...
I get it, bruh.
I've had to have some stuff where I had to pay, even when insurance covers some of it. It's crazy.
What is this? A listener says, my dentist's office has TVs on the ceiling.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they put him on a movie.
He's in a movie? That's awesome.
They put a movie on for him, is how I should have said that. That misled you there.
I'd love to have a movie on the ceiling.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
I got really good at knowing when to put the little spit vacuum in, like it was a dance.
Yeah.
I mentioned when Nick, you were telling me your procedure. It's so impressive when you have 3-4 people around you and each one's doing. They're getting stuff where it needs to go quickly. They don't have to exchange any words. They know what's going on.
I was impressed by that. It was like being at Jiffy Lube.
Yeah, it's like
watching.
You know
what I mean?
Yeah.
There's 5-6 people all in motion. They've all got something to do, and they know when to do. Absolutely. Being totally foreign to the dentist for so long, I was thrown by the precision of it all. Yes.
Yeah, it's like going to the Nutcracker or something like that. This is the ballet. Everybody's in time. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. Twirling. They're twirling. Why are they twirling? It doesn't matter. Your teeth are getting clean. But the bill, as that person said, that can be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There's times you're like, are you insane? How can you charge something like
Why
that?
didn't you ask me before you did this?
Do you guys go for the flavored toothpaste, or do you just get the mint?
I get whatever they give me.
Yeah, they don't give me an option.
They had this raspberry stuff at the dentist last time. That was awesome.
What are we talking about? They handed you a tube of toothpaste on your way out?
No, like when they're cleaning your teeth, they're like, what kind of flavor of toothpaste do you want?
Okay.
And there was like raspberry, and I'm like, whoa, I want that.
I went through one of those. I went through one of those teeth cleaning. They didn't. We must go to very different dentist's office because there was no flavored anything going on.
Can I ask you something real quick, Wapple? Do they know you were an adult?
Yeah, that's exactly what I
Did
wanted
they
to
ask you to pick a sticker on your way out or anything?
I'm still part of the No Cavity Club. So, you sign that up
Me too.
every time.
Never had a cavity, and it infuriates my wife because she has impeccable oral hygiene. Impeccable. I don't know if there's anybody that takes better care of their teeth than she does, but she gets cavities probably once out of every 3 times she goes to the dentist.
That sucks.
I never get them, and my oral hygiene, it leaves something to be desired.
Yeah, I've never had one either, and sometimes at the dentist they will like comment on my flossing abilities, and I have to be honest, I cannot even remember the last time I flossed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I get crap for not flossing.
I'm
Never
like,
saw it.
it looks like I flossed. Thank you.
Never tried it, and I refused to do it. I threw him off a little bit. Again, knowing nothing about how things work at a dentist's office when I first went back, whatever it was, 5-6 months ago. I confused him a little bit because at one point or another, and I just got done saying a few minutes ago, it's not that bad. And I stick with that statement. It's not that bad. But they pounded me periodically. They had every instrument buzzing and chopping away at my awful, awful mouth. It was a pretty big task for them to get everything straightened out after 19 years had gone by. But not knowing how to operate in one of these situations, I'm laid out on the chair. They're bombing me for about an hour straight. And then they said, okay, we're going to take a break. And we'll be right back. Okay. So there I am laid out, on the chair. I got up to take a piss. And when I came back, I think they had assumed that I had left. There was a little miscommunication there. I guess I wasn't supposed to get up and take a squirt.
Wait, no, you're not supposed to go anywhere.
Yeah. I was supposed to stay put. They didn't say stay put, and I had to take a squeege. So I got up, I left the office, I went down the hall, I took a bathroom break, I came back. And when I came back, the doctor and the assistant, the dentist and the assistant kind of looked surprised to see me. I guess I should have informed someone that I had to use the bathroom. That was the only real miscommunication we had.
Did they think you did the dental version of a dine and dash?
Yeah. They thought I had had enough and I was just leaving.
HVAC Delivery Jesus said on the topic of flavored toothpaste, he asked for bubble gum and he said, God bless the dentist. She asked, what are you, 5? Oh, dry-aged ribeye Jesus had a wisdom tooth pulled, woke up with wet jeans. Turned out I peed myself during the procedure and they just kept on working.
Oh, wow.
They're professionals.
That is.
It can happen.
Oh, they would have been talking about me all day.
What is this guy?
That peed his pants.
Yeah, I'm sure they all day, hell, they talk about you for the rest of their career.
Yeah, they took pictures of you. They got him in the break room.
But if you're all doped up, you get a pass.
Oh, you have to.
They'll talk about you, sure, but you shouldn't be terribly ashamed. It can happen.
Yeah, I don't think you should be ashamed of that.
Especially if you're high on, what was he loaded up on? You just said
he didn't say specifically what he was on. Well, yeah, like a laughing gas or whatever they put you on.
You don't know what you're doing. What the hell is this guy talking about? Excessive diarrhea, Jesus? Texted in and said he went to the dentist's office and he came home with mad cow disease? What are you talking about?
Oh, wow.
Did that
Is
really
a reference
happen?
to something?
I don't know. Get back to us. What are you telling? Are you playing with us?
Large Fart Jesus said that the dentist asked if he flossed regularly, and I said yes, religiously. And they looked at me puzzled, and then I said, yeah, Christmas, Easter.
A couple of years ago, I went to a new dentist for the first time since I was a kid. And the hygienist I had, she was about my age, and oh my goodness, she was gorgeous. And she goes through the thing, and she goes, okay, yeah, your teeth look good. Obviously, like most people, you could probably floss a little bit more, but that's about it. Everything looks good. So I said, in my head, I was like, I'm going to floss twice a day for 6 months till I go back in there. I'm just going to wow her. And I go in for my next appointment 6 months later. She doesn't work there anymore. All that flossing for nothing.
Well,
there's totally,
I could argue not for nothing.
There's no other benefit that I received.
It's totally unnecessary, the flossing. Trust me. I know what I'm talking about. I've been to the dentist now 3 times.
Hot Widow Jesus, I think she pays too much for the dentist. She said, my dentist has multiple flavors of polish, TVs on the ceiling, warm towels scented with different essential oils, and you can choose to have a diffuser going. Also, massage chairs in the waiting area.
Oh my gosh.
I like to look at the waiting area, and if it's too nice, I'm just going to walk right. Okay, I'm not going to walk out, but I'm going to think, this place is going to cost too much.
There's a dentist office in North Dakota. I know this because people will tweet me a picture of the waiting room occasionally. They have a Nintendo 64 and a TV setup, so you can play Nintendo 64 in the waiting room.
There's where my stepdaughter went to get her braces. They have basically an arcade.
Really?
And all kinds of free food and stuff like that.
Maybe I should look into getting braces again.
No, again, you don't want the bill.
Yeah.
Nope.
Here's another reason not to go to prison. Finisher Jesus texted in to say, when I was in prison, I broke a tooth. They pull them with no drugs.
Oh. Ow-wee.
Just pain, he said. No drugs, just pain.
It does look like you can get mad cow disease from the dental office, too.
Oh, so they weren't joking around.
No, it's like an infection through fluid and stuff like that.
I'll give you an infection through fluid. Just hold on to something.
Hi, I'm your dentist,
kidding.
Dr. Bovine.
You looked that up, huh? That sounds terrible. It's also, I'm not sure where we can go with this, but it's also procrastination week.
Yeah, we can get to that later.
It's a future us problem.
I used to be a very prolific procrastinator. You know what solved it? What cured it, Josh?
What's that?
I caught OCD.
Yeah, I have never been a procrastinator. I think I frustrate some people where I just want to get things over with immediately. If I'm assigned a task, I want to do it right then.
I was so maybe you also have OCD. That's what happened to me. I put off everything as long as possible, but once I caught that OCD, and to this day I still don't know where I caught it or who I caught it from. Now I need to get things done. So that chapter of my life, procrastination, that procrastination chapter, it came to an end.
I always just hated. I was terrible in high school with procrastinating, and then after high school is when everything changed, and I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? I'm only causing myself a headache. Now I just get things done right away.
Yeah, my wife is a very good procrastinator. Very good, to the point where she'll go past the deadline. That's how long she'll procrastinate.
I mean, I would just put off the simplest, stupidest things, like paying bills. I just let them stack up. The phone's ringing off the hook from the cable company and the electric company. And they'd say, you owe us $18. Send us the check. I mean, I'm not kidding you. It was bad.
Yeah, I've done that kind of stuff, and I think I've been getting better. But yeah, the worst is when you finally do something that you've been dreading, and it ends up taking 2 minutes, and you're like, why was I putting this off for 4 months?
Just get her done.
Yeah.
Larry the Cable Guy said it best, didn't he, Josh?
Yeah.
He did.
He said, get her done.
I don't like the stress of knowing I have something to do. I would much rather just get it over with.
Exactly.
There's always
or being
something
afraid
on my
you're going to
list.
forget. I mean, I write down pretty much everything. I have reminders, everything, but I still am afraid I'm going to forget something.
That's smart.
I wouldn't define it as stress exactly, but yeah, just to have it on my mind. Okay, it's funny, you write things down. I got my... I got a little piece of paper in my pocket right here.
I love your little pocket notes.
Well, yeah, you'll see,
pocket notes.
You'll see every once in a while I'm grabbing my phone. I'm not texting. I'm ready. Oh, can't forget to bring this up. Got to write this down.
Let's see. Yesterday, you want to know what I had on my list yesterday that I eliminated, and there's one more task I need to eliminate today?
Only if I can read my Costco shopping list. You go first.
Okay. Put new car insurance paperwork in motor vehicle.
Oh. Yeah.
I did that. You know, you got to put the thing. It says your insurance is good from this day. I put that in my.
Nice.
I've got that on my phone. I like to be techie.
What the hell does this say? I scribbled. See, because I scribbled out what I've done already. The second one I can't read. Check out email.
Oh yeah, did you check your email yesterday?
I did.
Your corporate email?
Yeah.
Nice. 2 days in a row.
And today I need to call the city so one of those guys can come over and give my house an inspection because a new appliance has been installed by your bros over there at Apollo Heating and Air, Josh.
They are my bros.
So then you got to have the guy from the city come over. I got to make that phone call today. Yay, notes.
Yeah, can I
I make myself notes because if I forget to do these things, I'll go crazy.
I want to save you a possible hassle. Maybe you're already on it. You don't need to worry about it. Make sure all your smoke detectors have batteries and they're working.
Okay.
Because I know at least in my city meaning I own the majority of it because of how much taxes we pay. They'll check, right? You show up, they're like, hey, you got a crack in your sidewalk. We got to look at that. Oh, and by the way, we're going to check your smoke detectors.
I appreciate the advice, but there's a catch to my situation. I'm kind of on easy street because the guy from my city that comes over and inspects things like that, I went to high school with him.
Oh, you're good.
We're bros.
You're good.
All right, go ahead. Costco list, go.
All I have on there are condoms.
What the hell? You're going out of town, huh?
Yeah, it just says condoms.
Cubby's going out of town.
I bet they sell them in like 50 packs.
Oh, you know what? I should look.
Yeah, you should.
I'd imagine you're probably right. Right, I have to put it on like a flat cart to get it out of there. Wisco smartass firefighter Jesus said he's not a procrastinator. He's just very patient. That's all it is.
Josh, speaking of Costco, you like to, rightfully so, brag about how you're a member of the upper society as an exclusive member of Costco.
An executive member,
Executive
but go ahead.
member, yeah. They're making it even more exclusive because it used to be like plebes like me, Wapple, and Ashley could just walk into the food court and get a hot dog without being a member. Now they're starting to roll out that you have to be a member and even to just go to the food court.
It's like that at Sam's Club. I didn't know that you could go there without being a member.
You can just stroll into Costco food court and get that $1.50 hot dog without being a member.
I missed out on that opportunity.
So you just at the door they check.
Well, you can go to the left where that's where like the store is, and the right to where the cafeteria is. And if you just say, I'm just going to go get some food, they just let you in.
I didn't know that. That is bullcrap. I'm glad they've changed that.
Yeah, I know. I figured you'd be pretty pumped about that.
Yeah, that's not fair.
You don't want the poor people around you.
I like that you said plebe.
Yeah.
Because it reminds me of a buddy who uses that word. And it's the first, I just heard that word a couple years ago from him.
Somebody said plebe?
Plebe.
What does it mean to be a plebe?
It's like an old-fashioned poor person, like way back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah, like he'll use it like lesser than, like some, you're such a plebe.
Like
that
a commoner.
He's the same guy that called me a Dorkosaurus cucks yesterday and made reference to
a grown person called you something asaurus?
A Dorkosaurus cucks.
I love that.
I want to punch this person in the face.
Oh, it was funny. He actually said something funnier, but I can't say it on the radio. And so and he said he pictures me in the corner as a Tyrannosaurus with tiny arms watching some big dude just rail my wife, and I can't even masturbate because of these tiny arms. It's like torture, and that's how pathetic he said I am. I'm that pathetic.
Dude, you can get 100 condoms for $25.
Pardon me?
100 condoms, $25, Costco.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry I blew up, but I just assume if someone's going to call you a something asaurus, I would imagine it's coming from a 7-year-old.
No, well, it was a whole thing. A whole thing. It was a back and forth, and it kind of evolved into an asaurus.
All right, I'll let it go.
You lashed out.
I'll let it go. It happens.
$50 off a pressure washer. That's a great deal.
Is that right?
What are we still talking about now?
You can get $50 off a pressure washer at Costco.
Okay.
That is a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I could use one of those. But
I got to get gas. What time do they open?
I probably
got hours on there?
Get to the condoms before I get to the pressure washer. That'll probably make sense. Hey, I need some condoms. And the Costco employee hands them over to you. And then you think a little bit and go, once that's over with, I'm probably going to need a pressure washer. And he says, yeah, they're in the back. Ernie, grab this guy a pressure washer. Did he buy condoms too? Yes, he bought condoms.
I'd like to give a welcome to Local 34 Jesus, who said he is now a high society member of society, as he is also a Costco executive member.
It's impressive.
It's great.
That's awesome. I like that there's more of us out there.
All right, before we get the hell out of here.
Dana, you're not involved.
I know.
Before we get the hell out of here, move on. We got plenty to cover before 9 a.m., the stupid news and whatnot, Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder. One more note I should write down. I was mentioning earlier that I walk around town with a little set of notes in my pocket so I can get things done. Offended Millennial Jesus recommended I write this down. Wapple, you and I should both write this down. Before the end of the day, he says we need to put the candle back. Okay, I wrote it down. I'll make sure we did. You hear what he said?
Put the candle back.
Right, before the end of the day. We'll be right back on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Our customers are our top priority, whether that's providing same-day service or solving a cooling issue for that addition on your home. Ashley, tell our listeners about this month's AC specials.
Get started on your spring cleaning checklist now. With the weather warming up, it's the perfect time to get your AC tuned up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get $40 off a furnace or AC tune-up, or double your savings and get $80 off when you get them done at the same time. Visit standardheating.com to save now.
Movies, TV shows, books, podcasts, and more. It's What Women Binge with Melissa Joan Hart and her friend Amanda Lee.
Scott Grimes is here
Thank
with
you.
us. Voiceover, that is like my dream job. I think I just have too distinctive a voice and I can't manipulate it, so I am not a good singer.
This is how great Seth MacFarlane is. I went in to do it and I was talking like this and he goes, good, now just get rid of the neck thing that you just did because it's ugly.
And then I just came out like this and came up with this guy named Steve Smith who has a tiny little lisp, but so does Scott Grimes, so it's perfect.
What Women Binge, wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Dang it, Joe.
Oh, no, what's up?
I got something in my eye. Wait a minute. It's traveled down into my nose now.
No, man.
I think it's a spider.
Hey, Josh gave us a heads up earlier, everybody, on what's going on today. Today is National Dentist Day. Everybody, thank Josh for always keeping us in the loop on these special holidays. Go ahead. Thank Josh for that.
Thanks, Josh.
You sound a little sarcastic.
You guys don't appreciate Josh the way you should. You don't. None of you do.
You shouldn't appreciate
And
me.
you couldn't carry his jock for 2 minutes.
Well,
You all could.
2
Any of you could.
friggin' minutes.
Massive chalk.
That's just it's too heavy. It's too big.
Josh gave us a heads up on how today is National Dentist Day. We were talking about it up and down a few minutes ago. Got a text message here from Hatch Daddy Jesus. He had something to say about going to the dentist. He said, I went there in 20 plus 21 for the first time in a long time to get a tooth pulled. He said he had a tooth that was causing him fever.
Ooh.
Oh, that can't be. Yeah, that's not good. That means infection.
That's what was happening there. So we went to the dentist to get that tooth pulled. What do you say here? The device my dentist was using to pull the tooth off got caught in my beard, he said.
Owie.
It got caught up in his beard.
So he removed the beard.
Have you ever zipped your beard with a jacket or something like that? Remember, you had the big David Letterman beard for a while.
No, but, not the bulk of the beard, but the neck hairs.
Yeah.
I get it caught in zippers. I get it caught on bras.
What? Yeah, that's uncomfortable. Oops, I turned my own mic off. About time. I've never had the bra incident.
Oh,
it's fascinating.
No, it can be a problem, but I didn't have any terrible difficulties when I grew that big damn beard. Here we go. Stupid news for, what is this, February something? Where are we now? March 6th, 2020. Anyone here having any difficulties swallowing lately?
No.
Yeah,
No.
I bet you haven't.
No, not at all. I've actually been complimented on it.
In Singapore, don't you know? Here comes this guy into one of their hospitals. Walks into the hospital. 55-year-old guy. He was having a hell of a time swallowing. And doctors looked carefully down the dude's throat. And that's when they saw it. The tentacles.
Oh.
Here we go again with this, right? Here we go again. He wasn't able to swallow terribly well because he had a damned octopus lodged in his esophagus.
Oh, that makes me want to throw up.
This is another one of those stories where it sounds like a mad lib.
Mhm.
Somebody made this up.
I mean, the good news was that the dude did remember eating octopus for dinner. Imagine if he had no idea, you know. he
put it
did.
down there.
He did remember. Oh yeah, I had some octopus for dinner.
Would you guys ever eat octopus? I'd like to
No.
think that I'd try anything, but I don't know, man. I would do anything for lunch, but I won't do that.
No
Never.
No.
Absolutely not.
I'm one of those guys that I think I can damn near say with great confidence I'll try anything once. But I'm gonna bump octopus off my list.
Yeah, I have a no genitals and no tentacles list. No testicles, no tentacles. I'm not going to eat either of those.
A man's got to have a code, Josh.
That's the code I have.
I couldn't be able to. Like that texture. Oh, it'd be like a mushroom. Can't do mushrooms either.
For folks that watch The Boys, remember when the Deep ate one? Oh, that was so disturbing. What a terrible scene.
Yeah, that was his buddy, too.
It was his best friend.
Dude had an octopus.
Homelander's such a douche.
No.
Such a douche.
Friggin' Homelander.
Lodged in his esophagus. The puss was there, like I said, for a reason. He had tried eating some octopus for dinner. It hadn't, invaded the poor guy's body while he slept or crawled up his behind while he was on the toilet or anything horrific like that. He had tried eating some of it. The pictures are something that you might want to see.
I was just going to say.
You might not want to see it. There's the octopus. If you get a chance to see the pictures, there it is. I don't know if it's alive or dead, but it's got its little suckers locked in on the poor guy's effing windpipe.
It's horrible.
Now, I could be wrong. Sometimes the language is so sideways in these stories because they come from Biafra and all over the world and they don't know how to write a story over there. I think the doctors had to go up the guy's can to fetch the puss.
Oh.
I think they had to haul it out his bottom.
Well, not exactly. They didn't have to. They just wanted to.
They wanted to.
Yeah.
They had to go that route. Just because something about the way the octopus was locked in there, they had to go up his ass. Dude's all right now.
Have they not heard of like knives and forks and stuff like that, where whatever restaurant he chose to eat at?
That's a good question.
I mean, that thing's like whole.
Or chewing. Yeah.
The last time we had an octopus caught in a guy's throat story, because if my memory serves me correct, this is the second time we've covered a story like this. In that case, the octopus looked as if it hadn't been chewed or anything. It just right down the friggin' hash.
It was still alive because that's how it was clenching to his throat.
Well, but is that for real?
I thought it was.
I thought it was kind of
around.
You could be right. I don't remember the specifics of the first one, but this one, it doesn't look alive. But I think is it kind of like a snapping turtle where, you cut the head off a snapping turtle, it'll still snap at you 2 days after you cut its head off. The feet will still, the body will still run away from you. Is it like that? Are octopuses, once those suckers lock in and then you kill it, do those suckers stay locked in? That's what I'm not 100% sure on.
I bet it does.
Overwhelmingly, people are saying octopus is not good, but there are a few people who do enjoy it. By the way, Crocs with Socks Jesus reminds me, and fellow The Boys fans, remember that the Deep also had a sexual relationship with that octopus.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was another tough scene to watch.
Yeah, that's kind of how everything started. Homelander saw that. And, yeah.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, if you want to see the horrifying pictures, it's up on 93x.com. I wish I didn't see them.
She wished she didn't,
Yeah,
Those
I
are
wish I
bad.
didn't too.
But she did.
Gonna pass.
All right, did we talk about this wacko here too? He's mentioned in the story about the puss. The dude who upped and swallowed a cellular telephone. He waited 6 months to do anything about it because he was too embarrassed to get help. He said he hoped the phone would naturally pass like a turd. And he about died. They punched the cell phone out of this guy just in time. He had some missed calls.
I would think.
He waited 6 months to do anything about it after he swallowed a cellular telephone. Didn't we discuss his situation, Josh?
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
He thought it would pass.
After 6 months, you're still holding out hope that things are going to get through, huh?
Nobody would believe him. Hey, I noticed you haven't been getting back to my calls. Nobody's going to believe him.
Mm-mm.
Ashley had a bad acting job when I asked if she got my text the other day, and she's like fumbling with her phone. Text? What? Oh, text. Yeah, I forgot about the text.
I actually didn't see it at all. I have my red receipts on, so you can see if I saw it.
Oh, is that right? What?
Yeah.
Josh isn't buying it. And it's another example of how you folks don't show Josh the respect that he deserves.
Well, I'll buy it, but it seemed like a bad acting job to me.
No, I actually did see it.
Did or did not?
Did not.
Did not.
Didn't.
Didn't.
We're not buying it.
Didn't more.
Yummy.
Well, this sucks right here. Another one of these hospital adventures, I guess. Dude went into the hospital for gallbladder surgery, is how you say it. Gallbladder surgery. But instead, the doctors, they gave him a vasectomy. Something went sideways in the game plan in there, Cubby.
Somebody's bad with paperwork. Or just very bad with anatomy.
Right.
Oh, gallbladder. I get those two confused all the time.
I thought you said ball bladder.
A 41-year-old fella in Argentina. He's known by the name of Jorge Bacedo. There he goes. He goes into the hospital so they could straighten out his gall. I'm going to get into some specifics here. You need to know some of this stuff. The operation was scheduled for Tuesday, February 28th, but due to circumstances out of Jorge's control, his procedure was postponed to the next day. And apparently that's the little detail that led to the beginning of the end of Jorge's sperm count. And this has become a massive malpractice scandal over there in Argentina. Jorge and his nuts have become famous. It says here, on the day of the surgery, hospital staff came into Jorge's room. They laid him out on a stretcher. And without asking him a single thing or even checking his chart, they took him into the operating room. The doctors didn't bother checking his chart either. They just performed the type of surgery they had scheduled for the day, which was a big fat-ass vasectomy. When Jorge woke up from his surgery, he had no idea what had happened. A doctor figured out that they had dumped the wrong operation on Jorge. Jorge was pissed. But then the next thing he knew, they're wheeling him into another room to cut up his gallbladder for him.
I don't think I'd want them to do any more surgeries on me.
Yeah, I'm going to a different hospital.
You know, there he is. You did what to me? What's the deal? After his second surgery, Jorge wanted to know what the hell happened. Doctors kept blaming each other. They kept telling him not to be overly dramatic about the situation because he could still conceive children through artificial insemination if he wanted to.
Oh.
That's supposed to make him feel better?
That would just make me so much more furious. You're trying to make this like it's not a big deal?
You guys killed my nuts! Hey, don't be overly dramatic about it.
That's
you
hilarious.
can still... Who do you think you're talking to here?
Speaking of gall, how do you have the gall for that? Listen, you're really taking this in a way that's ridiculous.
Listen, man, mistakes happen, okay?
I don't tell you how to do your job.
And then the doctors talked him out of a reverse vasectomy. They said his chances were slim that would work.
And according to the show The Office, those are quite painful.
A vasectomy?
Reverse. Getting a reverse.
A reverse? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Michael Scott talks about how he got a vasectomy, got a reverse, got a vasectomy again, and got a back 6 times. because of his girlfriend Jan.
Jan's the worst.
Never
Kinda
saw
mean.
it.
Hot, though.
Yeah.
Especially after that boob job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that helped. Folks are saying that octopus nerve. Okay, I should have mentioned I'm going back to the first story. Sorry. Octopus nerves can react up to 48 hours after death. So it's possible, even if the octopus is dead, it's like hanging on to stuff.
There you go. That's very valuable information. So Jorge said this about this whole nightmare. He said, on my chart, it said gallbladder. All they had to do was read it. You didn't have to be a scientist to figure that out. He's devastated. He's the father of 2 boys, but he's apparently in a new relationship with a new lady. And he was going to try to put a baby in her. They wanted to conceive naturally, but now they only have the option of artificial insemination. I'm angry, says Jorge, and helpless. What they did is irreversible. There is no changing it. I just can't understand this level of negligence. So Jorge's lawyer said that the F-up all started because of when they rescheduled Jorge's surgery. Vasectomies are usually performed on Wednesdays. And the staff at the hospital, including the doctors, just treated Jorge as another vasectomy patient instead of bothering to look at his chart. You see what they mean by that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Jorge's looking to sue the doctors and the hospital for negligence.
Wednesdays are vasectomy day. That's cute.
On Wednesdays, we like to have fun. It's vasectomy day.
Yeah, we always have it right after Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's how we do things around here.
I've heard of that before. And I'm trying to remember the specifics, but I've heard about that kind of a thing where at certain hospitals, they dedicate days to specific, that's how the whole thing went sideways on them.
Fish Sticks Jesus says that he delivers fish and seafood for a living, and he has a octopus for us to try and send a picture of a frozen octopus.
No thanks. I appreciate the offer, but I'm going to sit this one out.
What if I told you there was 13 grams of protein in it?
Oh,
that's
Still good.
Gotta get your protein.
I do.
13 what?
Grams of protein in it.
No, I don't care about protein.
That's pretty good.
I mean, okay, maybe deep fry it?
Yeah, deep fry anything.
That makes a difference, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, deep.
But is that cheating?
Probably.
Maybe.
We should, if we're going to eat octopus, we should eat it the way this dude did in wherever he was when it got stuck in his throat. We should live a little.
I would throw up instantly.
Be traditional about it.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Because, that people might say, well, you haven't really had octopus.
Right. Oh, God help us. What's next? I'm a Scorpions fan, the German rock band.
I enjoy them.
Mm-hmm. I'm not as enthusiastic about the actual little stingy bug itself, a real scorpion.
I think they're pretty cool looking. But, I wouldn't want, one crawling on me.
Obviously, living here in Minnesota, it's not as if I have to ever cross paths with the little peckerheads, but if I ever did, I wonder if I'd be able to hold it together and keep from screaming like a 3-year-old.
Scorpion's one of my favorite characters in Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
You guys like Scorpion?
Yeah.
Sub-Zero fan.
I like him too.
I like Scorpion, yeah.
I'm actually reading a book about the history of Mortal Kombat right now.
Never saw it.
You're reading
the best.
You're reading a book on the history of Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, about the making of it and all the controversy that came with it coming out and the blood and all that.
I'm kind of a history buff.
That is awesome.
Is that right? What's your specialty?
Mid-90s video games.
Music has been taken out of this portion of the Half-Assed Morning Show podcast for licensing reasons.
Oh, don't do this to me. Are you kidding me? The piano version of Still Loving You?
Good, right?
I mean, I might start to cry.
I want to hear somebody play this at one of the fancy Menards.
Are you kidding me?
Where they have the
big piano
guy.
Don't you know that story?
That's why I'm playing it.
Oh, yeah. I thought maybe you had forgotten that experience that I had at Menards where it doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes when I walk in there, there's some fancy schmancy dude up on the top level playing a piano. And I walk in one day and I hear this beautiful song being played. And I'm in one of those situations where you're trying to recognize, I know this song, what is this? And I'm stopped dead in my tracks to figure it out. And it dawned on me the guy's playing the piano version of Still Loving You from the Scorpions. I got up that escalator or what do you call that thing that you ride up to the...
Yeah, an escalator.
I got up that escalator as fast as I could. And this guy probably thought I was some kind of a sick pervert or something because I stood there watching him play it until he finished it. I think he cut the song off. He cut it short because I was just standing there staring at him. He's thinking, what do you want from me?
This guy's being weird.
I watched the first 2 seasons of Westworld on HBO, and it was the same thing where they'd have like these old-timey piano versions of popular songs, like Black Hole Sun from Soundgarden, I remember being one. And it was driving me nuts too. I'm like, wait a minute, why do I know that song?
So I'm not afraid of Rudolf Schenker or Matthias Jobs or Herman Rarebell, Klaus Meine, or Francis Buchholz. I'm not afraid of those scorpions, but the actual little stingy, 8-legged, crunchy-looking arachnid, yeah, F those things. Sucks to be this guy right here. Some dude says he was stung on his nutbag by a scorpion while he was sleeping in a hotel room in Las Vegas, Nevada.
I just felt like somebody stabbing me in my private area. I went to the restroom and I saw a scorpion. Nobody believed. Even I couldn't believe it.
A man staying at a hotel in Las Vegas claims that while he was asleep in his room, a scorpion stung his testicles. His wife was, all right, I'll buy the scorpion story, but how did you get crabs?
This poor guy goes by the name of Michael Farchi. It's kind of funny, right?
Bet he had a great time in elementary school.
You just got to embrace it, I think, at that point.
Just make fun of yourself so they can't do it to you.
Mike Farchi. He's from out there in California. He was visiting Las Vegas, staying at a joint called the Venetian back on December 26 when his nuts got bit. And like you heard in the audio there, Farchi explained what it felt like to take a scorpion bite to the bagski. He said, it felt like somebody was stabbing me in my private area. It felt like sharp glass or a knife. By the way, Cubby, $400 a night for a room at that Venetian hotel in Vegas.
I was just going to say, I thought I heard that was one of the fancier ones, the Venetian.
He hands him $400 in trade, and he gets stung on the pills by an evil scorpion. He was sound asleep. He was with his family. When he got bit, he sprung up out of bed. He couldn't help it. And he went into the bathroom to try to figure out, what the hell, where's all this pain coming from? And he sees the scorpion hanging from his underwears.
I think I'd kill myself with its stinger.
Yeah. Right in the jugular.
I mean, at the very least, I wouldn't be able to stay conscious. I would black out.
Music has been taken out of this portion of the Half-Assed Morning Show podcast for licensing reasons.
Dude, that's a ballsy version of Blackout. That's from that, when they re-recorded it. What was the name of that record? Where they it was called Still Black or Blacker Than Ever or something like that.
You're on to
Look
something.
that up. They put some bigger balls on some of these old tracks. Cata Black or something like that. It was. You'll find it. You ever have you seen them in concert, Josh?
I have, yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
When they played
once.
When they played Blackout, did Schenker come out with the mask on from the album cover with the forks in his eyes?
Boy, if they did, I don't remember that.
Dude. All right.
Come Black.
Come Black. Yes, like Come Back, only Come. Yes, thank you, Wapple. I got that record at home. It's terrific. The ballsier version of Rhythm of Love is terrific on that record. Rhythm of Love. Dude got out. Okay, back to this guy who got bit on the testicles by a satanic scorpion. He got out his cell phone, his cellular telephone with the camera in it, and he snapped pictures of the orange scorpion. It was a bright orange scorpion, and it was dangling from his damn briefs. He took a picture of it before he headed to the hospital. That was smart, I think. So then the doctors, maybe they know exactly what they're dealing with, right? He was in a lot of pain. He couldn't believe that it happened to him. He filed a complaint with the hotel before checking out. He said they comped his room, but he is considering legal action. It's not known how the scorpion made its way into his room in the first place. Here was the first thing that crossed my mind. Maybe he brought it with him from California. Don't they often get into suitcases and things like that?
That's possible.
I would imagine so.
I mean, not that it's out of the realm of possibility that a scorpion will be walking around Vegas, right? That's where they hang out, the hot, dry places
desert.
like Southern California and Vegas. So I don't know. I just thought, maybe he brought the damn thing with him. He didn't know it.
Maybe someone else, like who was staying at the hotel, brought a scorpion.
Well, why would you bring a scorpion to
maybe like a pet scorpion or something like that?
I suppose anything's possible.
The Scorpions, by the way, the band, have a residency coming up in Las Vegas, it says here.
Well, they need to come to Medina is what they need to do.
And have a residency so we can see them at our leisure.
Oh, God.
And a couple times if we wanted to.
If they played every weekend at Medina? I mean, obviously, they're big enough to play the arenas. I'd prefer it if it was at Medina, so I don't got to get, go downtown. It's just right down the road from my house. Bowling is one of the greatest sports in the world.
Love bowling. Wish I was better at it.
I love to watch it on television when I get a chance. I just love it. I get aggravated when I talk about bowling, though, because it's just another fun activity that this miserable, time-consuming job won't allow me to get involved in. I'll try not to get aggravated about this again. Over there in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, they're bringing back a popular gimmick. They call it Balls Out Bowling, which is bowling in the nudes.
Take that, you bottle bitch! Come on! Let's have some fun!
Never gets old.
Bowling in the nudes. They call it the ultimate bowling experience. You know, when I was a young guy, I would have happily bowled naked with you. Nowadays, I'd probably turn it down.
You know, there's a part of me that wants to see it, but when the original bending over to toss the... I don't want to see that, I think.
Yeah, there's some angles you wouldn't want to look at. Yeah.
Says here the Pittsburgh area naturalists, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They're hosting another Balls Out bowling event where you can bowl naked. They're all going to get butt-ass naked at a joint called Crafton Ingram Lanes, and this will be Sunday, April 28th. They'll be swinging nuts and low-hanging boobs from lane 1 all the way down to the other end of the building. Word is the event is for anyone over the age of 18, whether you're a seasoned pro or a beginner. This event is for everyone, they say. Jesus, I'd be willing to bet a lot of money there won't be one single person there who is anywhere near 18 years old.
I totally agree.
Mm-hmm. There are rules, by God. The rules are...
Oh, you have to have bowling shoes.
They didn't mention that.
Oh, wow.
The rules are... Well, that's probably the rule at the lanes, but I'm talking about the rules of Balls Out bowling, Wapple. Of course you have to have your... They're not going to let you walk down the lane with your Reeboks. Here's the deal. The rules are...
Just socks on.
No, you slip and fall.
Nudity is required. Nudity is required. With the exception, women's can cover their little bottoms if they want. Also, sexual activity is not permitted. If you want to put your fingers somewheres, you better have them in your bowling ball. Those running the event say nudism does not equal consent, and harassment will not be taken lightly. Violators will be asked to leave. No photography or video is allowed. Jeez, all right, I get it.
That's good they're thinking about all this stuff. But it seems weird that they say nudity is required, and the next sentence says, and women, you can wear bottoms if you want.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of required.
So there you go. Now you know all the rules. But like you guys were saying, I mean, it's going to be all a-holes and elbows.
Yep.
Hopefully something doesn't get stuck in the ball return.
I think I'm safe there.
That would hurt.
Bowling naturally puts your body in an ugly position, even if you have your clothes on. And now I'm all bent 3/4 over bowling and I'm naked? That might be tough to watch. A-holes and elbows. All right, what time is it? Okay. Speaking of, if you really want to take a long, hard, detailed look at a complete stranger's anus, you could sign up for this. You could sign up for this here. In Billings, Montana, they've got a yoga studio set up that's clothing optional.
Yeah, this sounds worse.
Mm-hmm. Always a lot of gas in those things.
I've yet to experience that.
The gas? Well, how often do you go? Are you a regular?
Yeah.
Are you a yogi?
Yeah.
You are.
I guess maybe I'm so focused I don't notice.
That's pretty focused. You know what I'm saying?
You got the guy next to you in a butterfly position and dropping buns on you.
It is because of the time that I go, because usually it will be after work. It is all like senior citizens and me. So
well, sometimes they're the ones that can't hold it in.
I know,
and you're still saying you have to say, like I said, that's pretty focused. I could be standing on the top of the tallest building and ready to jump to my death, and if someone farted, I'd go, hey, who farted? You know what I mean? You're saying you're so focused at yoga that you don't notice the farts?
Yeah, I guess. Maybe they have really good ventilation going on there.
But you don't hear anything?
There's
No.
something up, right? Am I right about that? You could be in the most dramatic moment of your life, and someone goes, you're going to go, hey, who the hell was that? You know what I'm saying? But you don't notice it at yoga when everyone's ass is up in the air.
In the situation you described, if nobody answered before I jumped, I could imagine on the way down turning around and be like, no, seriously, who was that? I gotta know, and I've got limited time.
Oh, man.
Why is it that we need to know? I have to know.
Yeah, so I'm not buying Ashley saying, I've never noticed. I'm so focused. I think it's a fart storm and you don't want to admit it.
Because you're the one that's farting.
I wouldn't be able to go back if it was like that.
You know, it's a damn shame that physical comedy can't be appreciated over radio. Because when Josh did his imitation of him falling from a building and he's still curious about who farted, it was beautiful.
It really
Did
was.
you see what he did? He was kind of slowly rotating his body, like you see in the movie. Wait.
Legs
Who was it?
Ashley, have you ever had a mistake
No.
in yoga?
Mm-mm.
All right, so clothing optional yoga. They call it Bare Roots Yoga in Billings, Montana. Did I mention Billings? I think I did.
You did, yeah.
This sounds unsettling. They say it's designed to boost body confidence and build community and release terrible things from your body, and that's not what they that's not what they mean by that. You know, all those hippy dippy things that people say about yoga, right? That they say that's what it's about. But can I choose who I'm parked behind?
You'd have to, right?
Right? Can I choose, or can I be in the back row? Because no one wants to look up my wazoo either, I'm sure. So can I be in the back row?
Usually in yoga studios too, there is all the walls are mirrors.
I was going to say that. There's no way to escape.
I don't know much about yoga, but damn, don't folks pull their legs back and try to plug their ears with their big toes? I mean,
pretty much.
Mm-hmm. If something gives way and everybody's naked, there might not be any survivors of something like that.
I mean, even just the downward dog. That'd be hard to
So you don't have to be ass naked for this. It is optional. Someone who works at the Naked Yoga Studio there in Montana said, we have some folks that start out in sports bras and shorts, and then slowly they get topless, and then they're completely in the nudes. There are rules here as well. Rules and expectations if you show up for Bare Roots Yoga. You must be part of the community, they say. You can't be a one-timer. You can't just be driving through town and you stop in to show people your penis. You know what I mean? Lights are set on low, curtains are drawn, no cameras or phones, no inappropriate talking or gestures. Oh, and this last rule kind of gets me thinking, oh, I think I see where they're going with this. The last rule, what happens in the room stays in the room. Okay, I see what you're doing now. I got you.
That should be a rule for whatever. Absolutely everything. My wife teaches like a hot yoga class, and I don't know. I mean, it seems like you're just making it worse.
Yeah,
But actually, you could never do that, could you? You hate heat as much as I do.
Yep, there's two rooms at the yoga studio I go to, and one of them is like the hot yoga, and I refuse. Except the only time that I did it was for puppy yoga, because they've got to be in the nice warm room.
All right, there's a puppy yoga?
It was one of the best best Sundays of my life.
That's awesome.
And it wasn't just like 2 puppies. They had like over 10 puppies there.
So you know why popular? You know why they do dog yoga? You blame the farts on the dog.
Oh, smart.
They were peeing everywhere.
Really? Gross.
Yeah, but puppy pee, it's just like a tiny little puddle.
Farts, queefs.
Queefs.
We had a goat in here, and boy, did that thing poop a lot.
Yeah,
I could not imagine doing yoga with that.
I have heard people say that there's a lot of feces with goat yoga, yeah.
And they just launch it.
Goat anything.
Yeah, I mean, like
goat
Wapple said.
Goat drag racing. If you got a goat, there's going to be,
I thought it was a bit almost with how much poop kept coming out of that thing.
Oh, my God.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like a Pez dispenser.
Me and a goat once drove in a car together for about a half hour. Ever tell you about when I picked up a goat and we went driving down the road for a half hour?
No, where'd you find the
didn't you
goat?
have like a diaper on it or something?
It did have a diaper on it, yeah.
That's a good
call. It was
call.
for a radio gimmick 30 years ago. It was terrible. It didn't work, but I was in charge of going to get this goat. And before it got in the car with me, the goat owner put a diaper on it because he told me it was just going to shoot perfectly round turd pebbles all over the... and then the damn thing, I couldn't do anything about it because I'm driving a car and I'm on the telephone with the radio station telling him, and it ate half the shirt off of me while I was driving the car. It just kept eating my shirt, and there's nothing I can do about it.
No.
One of our dogs used to have to wear a diaper for a while. A doggy diaper.
Yeah, our dog still does.
Oh yeah,
remember
nighttime.
that
she lost the feeling in the back half of her body, and all of a sudden she'd be like, "All right, who pooped in here?" And then look around and go, "Oh man, that was me."
Who pooped in my diaper?
Yeah, that dog that I had in a wheelchair there for a while, Cubby.
That one wore a diaper?
Yeah, we had to put
I didn't know that.
We had to put diapers on her. I didn't put diapers on her when she was in here because I couldn't care if she made a mess in here, but at the house, yeah, we put. What time is it?
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
I give about $1,000 because I know my feet stink. I know they're ugly, and I like to paint them. One time I had a toenail that was torn off, and I wasn't gonna play in the game. My mom was like, "Baby, why you not playing the game?" I was like, "I tore my toenail off." So she did something, and then she put like some red polish on the thing, and I had 40 that game. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just start painting my toenails.
You do a solid color, or you got like designs?
I do like sparkles and designs and all that stuff.
Word.
Yeah, no, just to make it look pretty, because I have ugly, stinky feet.
Shaquille O'Neal paints his toenails?
Yeah, he has to have $1,000 pedicures, he said, because he thinks his feet are so gross, he doesn't want to pay somebody less.
Okay, I have that in common with him. I have considered painting my toenails before.
For that very reason?
To cover up the ugly. I never have gone through with it, but I considered it.
I bet it would look cute.
But my problem was, what color do I go with?
My boyfriend let me paint his toenails not too long ago, and I did like a light purple, and that looked pretty.
See, that's
was
the thing.
Was this around Easter? Because that'd be perfect, a nice pastel color.
See, that's what I'm trying to avoid. I'm not a pushover, pee-whipped individual like your boyfriend.
Honestly, it was really good looking.
I'm a real man. So that was my concern, was I don't want it to look pretty.
I got your answer.
Maybe
Go
like
ahead.
burnt red.
I got your answer, and it's so obvious. It's right in front of us, and we almost didn't get it.
Dump it on me.
The American flag.
Oh, dude.
Red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Dude, and then I follow Kid Rock on tour.
You got to do the American flag.
We could throw some stars on there, too.
That's a brilliant... at this point, I'm not considering it anymore, but because I think my feet have improved enough now to where I'm not going to make people openly vomit if they see them in public. But a few years ago, they were bad enough to where I considered it.
Well, I'll tell you, there's been a couple times in my life where I've had painted toes. You know, having a daughter, every once in a while, you got to play pretty princess. You know, you give in and you get your toenails done.
You have to play pretty princess.
Yeah, I have to play pretty princess. Did it a couple times. That's the only reason that we
playing by yourself.
That's why we had a younger kid. Yeah, I ended up playing by myself. I loved it, just so that she could move on to making him pretty princess.
The only thing, though, I will say about painting your toenails is if you don't take it off, it lasts for months.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. It lasts forever. It's not like your fingernails.
All right, we got to get going here.
Oh, Shaq's feet are disgusting.
They're really gross.
Why did you look?
Yeah.
Shaq's feet are that bad?
They're nasty.
They are
worse
disgusting.
than mine?
Yes. And
That's
so
pretty
much
bad.
bigger. You know, it just makes it worse.
They are large. All right, we got to get going again. What are we doing here? Oh, this is supposed to be some kind of a sports report. Nothing happened last night. The state hockey tournament begins today at XL Energy Center. Class A games today. The boys state hockey tournament. It'll be televised on Channel 45. Oh, this just dawned on me. Oh, great. The kids with the hilarious haircuts. I can't wait.
I think that's fun.
I never get sick of that. Oh, God, look at the funny haircuts. Yay.
Don't poop on fun. That's fun.
No, I'm sick of it. We'll talk about that when Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder show up. And Lou Nanny, that's a big story.
Yeah.
Golden Gopher basketball, the dudes. They're at home tonight versus Indiana. Josh's news is coming up next.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Our customers are our top priority, whether that's providing same-day service or solving a cooling issue for that addition on your home. Ashley, tell our listeners about this month's AC specials.
Get started on your spring cleaning checklist now. With the weather warming up, it's the perfect time to get your AC tuned up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get $40 off a furnace or AC tune-up, or double your savings and get $80 off when you get them done at the same time. Visit standardheating.com to save now.
Are you ready for hard-hitting observations?
She is the least credible person I may have ever seen on camera.
The Ben Shapiro Show brings you all the news you need to know in America today.
Guys, not everything is 4D chess. Why can't we just laugh?
Ben breaks down the culture and never gives an inch.
We all know I'm the #1 rapper in the world thanks to Facts by Tom McDonald.
The Ben Shapiro Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
That's really scary.
Really concerning.
It does worry me because I'm a mom of 2.
A 34-year-old Royal Caribbean cruise ship employee hid cameras in the bathrooms of multiple passengers, secretly taping them in various states of undress, including au naturel.
That's terrible.
It is. Arvin Marisol was taken into custody over the weekend in Florida after a victim said she was in her private bathroom when she reached under the sink to grab a roll of toilet paper. She just got done going number 2.
Sure.
That's where she observed a hidden camera. The victim said she used the bathroom multiple times since boarding the ship while in a state of undress and had not provided consent to anyone to record her in the bathroom.
Not a single person.
The ship security was immediately notified and reported to the room. While they were there interviewing the victim and her family, Marisol entered the room and was detained. Authorities also seized his electronic devices and found numerous videos of naked females undressing in the bathroom.
This guy masturbates a lot.
He actually brings that up.
Who brings that up?
He does. Marisol.
Oh, no.
He mentions it.
In
case you were curious as to why he was doing it.
He goes by the name of Arvin.
Arvin Marisol.
That's a funny name.
In a subsequent interview with state and federal agents, he allegedly admitted to using his position as a stateroom attendant, in which he's responsible for cleaning the guest rooms and restocking towels. He used that to place his camera in the bathrooms of certain guests. He said he would then retrieve the cameras and, quote, pleasure himself to the videos.
I knew it.
Unquote.
Yeah, I friggin' knew it.
In a statement, Royal Caribbean said the company has a zero-tolerance policy for this behavior.
Royal Caribbean sent us a statement saying we have zero tolerance for this unacceptable behavior. We immediately reported this to law enforcement and terminated the crew member, and we will continue to fully cooperate with authorities.
In addition to the hidden cameras, he also admitted to participating in an even riskier form of video voyeurism. While guests were taking a shower, he would sneak into the room, hide under their beds, and record them naked.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, this guy's a psychopath.
Hiding under beds.
You going to take a shower?
Wouldn't it be something, Josh, if the cruise line made a statement that they had limited tolerance to such things?
Yeah.
We do have a certain amount of tolerance to something like this.
Sorry, we can't do anything. International water.
Yeah?
A 23-year-old Tennessee man was taken into custody for indecent exposure Monday after a lewd incident last month involving what medical professionals call jerking his Johnson. A victim filed a report stating they were driving on the interstate and noticed a man next to them with his window down, playing pornography from a cell phone mounted on the windshield. They got into the far left lane to exit the interstate, but the man followed, pacing his car next to theirs, during which they observed him winking at them while masturbating. I don't know why, but the winking makes it worse for me.
Definitely.
I've always been unnerved by winkers. There's something about that move that has always been unsettling to me.
Yeah, I think it's few and far between where it doesn't kind of creep me out a little bit.
There aren't many of them around.
Winkers? That's true.
I love winking.
there's something about it that has always given me the willies.
But you can't wink while wanking.
No.
Driving on the road, that's terrible. They noted the man's license plate, made a report, and the masturbating madman was identified in a photo lineup. I don't know if it was his face, penis, or both. The report didn't say. He's going to be possibly doing some jail time, they said.
For what?
We have a bit of a tolerance. Not a lot, but a bit. 18-year-old Nashville man David Ridley had a domestic incident with his girlfriend at their apartment in the early hours of November 28th. The girlfriend told police that while they argued about Ridley smoking a cigarette in their unit, she asked him to smoke outside. Then Ridley kicked her, quote, in the coochie.
Oh.
I haven't heard that term for that body part in a long time.
Yeah. Was that her quote?
That's her quote, yes.
That's hilarious.
Then last week, he was busted for stealing a car and taken into custody for the November domestic assault, evading arrest, the unauthorized use of a vehicle, and other charges.
A kick to the cooch.
Yeah. She's like, hey, kick me in my coochie?
Ouch.
I love that that's the route that she took. I mean, we all know what it's like to have problems with our girlfriend, too, I'll tell you that. Oh, that can be something.
It may only be Wednesday, but I think we possibly have found the headline of the week, and it comes from the UK. The headline reads, "Workmen are grabbing their tools to begin a shift at Lincoln's Glory Hole."
Oh, yeah.
They know what they're doing over there.
That's funny.
The historic Riverside attraction, a bridge to Lincoln and the English East Midlands, they call the Glory Hole, and it's finally being repaired after it was deemed unsafe last year. Again, workmen grabbing their tools to begin a shift at Lincoln's Glory Hole.
I prefer my glory holes to be up to code.
Well, yeah, there's too much danger otherwise. Here's another bizarre, and smaller. I'd like mine, it's unflattering.
Yeah, you make me feel bad about myself.
Here's another bizarre headline. Bangkok hooker turf war. And it happened. There was an all-out brawl in Bangkok's red light district over a reported turf between Thai hookers.
You put that on the list of events that I want no part of. That sounds horrific.
It's fun to watch the video, but yeah, I wouldn't want to be there. Video captured some of the highlights from Monday, which shows a handful of sex workers using a popular hotel, but apparently other prostitutes felt protective of their territory. Officers were called as the dispute began to escalate when some of the prostitutes were accused of stealing customers from a Thai hooker in the area. And as the cops escorted them out of the building and into the street, there was a huge crowd waiting for them. And that's when the hoedown began. The Bangkok brothel brawl had prostitutes and cops clashing, fists being thrown. In the end, the officers were able to bring the sex workers they were originally there to find to the police station. But it looks like everyone was fairly roughed up as they went inside.
Dude, somebody's going to get kicked in the pills.
Oh, yeah, or the coochie.
Man.
The hookers were reportedly arrested for working in the area without the necessary paperwork. You got to have the right paperwork. A woman was arrested after police say she stepped into a fight between students at a bus stop, beating up one of the kids during the confrontation and egging the others on.
Oh, ladies, stay out of it.
While I'm at it, I'm going to beat up a kid.
I made the effort to get here.
Yeah.
According to the Haines City Police Department, a confrontation between two juvenile students at a school bus stop turned violent on Friday. Police said 28-year-old Tatiana Duffy, a relative and guardian of one of the juveniles involved, jeered and intervened in the fight, at one point battering a juvenile involved.
Oh.
Video shared by police shows students trying to break up the melee and Duffy encouraging the attack to continue.
Kick his ass.
The involvement of an adult in encouraging and participating in a teenage fight at a bus stop is unacceptable and deeply concerning, Chief of Police Greg Gorick stated. This behavior not only escalates violence, but also fails our community's expectations of an adult, he said. Duffy's facing charges of battery and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. A juvenile involved was arrested and charged with battery as well.
Yeah, you're doing it all wrong.
A West Virginia school bus driver was charged with drunk driving Monday after flipping a bus full of students, injuring as many as 16 child passengers.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
54-year-old Jeffrey Brannon even went off on state troopers, yelling and acting aggressive at them when they had the gall to show up to the scene.
Mm-hmm.
He reeked of alcohol and allegedly admitted he'd been drinking earlier. Police said there were 19 students on the bus at the time of the crash.
When people arrived on the scene, there were several patients there, all juveniles. Basically, the guy was trapped around the curve, he ran off the road, and then overcorrected and the bus tipped.
Of the 16 injured, none of the injuries were described as life-threatening, but one student suffered a serious leg injury, another a broken vertebrae. Oh, man, ow. And a third sustained a head injury.
Our immediate focus is on our students and their well-being. But to be clear, there is no greater disappointment than learning the cause of this incident is because of the choice by a school employee to whom families entrust their children's safety with.
Brandon is scheduled to return to court next week.
Yeah, he effed up pretty bad, that guy.
Yeah, I don't know. Call in sick, dude. I mean, there's got to be an alternative. John Cena is set to make his debut in a Mortal Kombat video game.
Oh, great.
As his character from the DC Universe, Peacemaker. Warner Brothers Games released a trailer featuring Cena as a playable character in the Mortal Kombat 1 DLC pack available today. One of Peacemaker's favorite sayings is, "I cherish peace with all my heart, and I don't care how many men, women, and children I kill to get it." This will mark Cena's second appearance in a non-WWE video game. He was added as a downloadable character in Fortnite in 2022. By the way, Peacemaker Season 2 is expected to start filming later this year, and Cena is tonight's guest on Jimmy Fallon.
That's all wonderful news right there.
It is.
I'm tired of the guy.
I don't know if you'd like Peacemaker or not. It's pretty funny.
It's funny and it's over the top.
Yeah, I mean, it knows. It's in on the joke.
You know, I don't know. Maybe this is the liquor talking, and I got nothing against. I'm watching an ad on television the other day, and it was a car ad, and I don't care what car it was, and maybe it's best we don't mention it, even if some of you remember what car ad it was. But the voice was John Cena.
Yeah, he does it for that brand.
And for whatever reason, I thought to myself, you couldn't give some voice actor who could use a meal the job. You had to hand it to friggin' Cena.
Oh, they all do that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's celebrities for all of them.
And there's nothing special about John Cena's speaking voice at all.
Well, I think it's just
recognizable.
Here's John Cena.
Again, this is probably just a liquor talking, but I'm on burnout mode with that guy. Enough with the John Cena.
The second season premiere of Animal Control airs tonight on Fox. The new season should be streaming by tomorrow on Hulu. Savings of over $200 you can have if you grab your Tee It Up golf card number 3, our final card for 2024 at 93x.com. Golf 7 area courses for just $159. Happy birthday to Shaquille O'Neal, who we learned earlier pays $1,000 for pedicures. He's 52 today. I actually would have thought maybe he'd be a little older, but he's 52.
Yeah, he's getting up there a little ways, Cubby.
It just seems like he's been around my entire life.
You're going to catch him someday.
I know, I'm getting there. I'm just a few years away. And the director of This Is Spinal Tap, Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, and A Few Good Men, and of course the actor who played Meathead on All in the Family, funny stuff, Rob Reiner, 77.
God dang.
Good luck to pipe layer 15 Jesus, taking the plumbing journey worker state test today. Shout out to AVS Jesus from Ford Fixer Jesus. Dirt Moving Jesus wishing his daughter Matilda a happy 13th. Happy birthday to the amazing husband Outdoor Ice Rink Jesus from your awesome and sexy wife Doesn't Play Well with Others Jesus. Happy 42nd to Stand Up Comic Girl Jesus. And happy birthday to a woman who many of you listening now or later on the podcast owe a major apology for all the terrible things you've said over the years about her. My mother. Happy birthday, Mom. And that's 93X News.
Care 11's Randy Shaver
on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Originally, I started playing football when I was younger. I couldn't wear glasses. They would have broke instantly. And so my mom invested in a pair of goggles. And so I kind of just started wearing that ever since. You know, once I started playing basketball, I just kept wearing that. And in high school, I thought about going to contacts. And so I tried them out real quick, but I couldn't really, get it down. And then my brother came to me. He told me, he's like, hey, you're not you without your goggles. And so you can't get contacts. And so that's kind of how I just kind of stuck with him, And so he kind of helped me, it's kind of part of my brand now. It's been a lot of fun. I've gotten a couple of nicknames. Larry Nerd was one of them, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Steph Blurry. And so it's been a bunch of fun nicknames that I've seen all over social media. Wow. But my personal favorite, my favorite music artist is Rob Wave. And so I got one earlier near Rob Wave. And so that's always going to be my favorite. But I do like the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It's just been a good time.
Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder join the show now. They do, and we're thrilled about it.
You sound like you're thrilled.
Yeah. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I couldn't tell either.
I'm very excited. It's nice to hear from the both of you. We're learning more and more every day about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yes.
I love him.
Me too.
You heard his voice right there. He was talking to somebody or another on the radio. Robbie Avila, a.k.a. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. If this is your first hearing about the kid, college ball player, Indiana State. He's gone viral because he's such a terrific player. He doesn't quite look like the greatest athlete in the world.
Not at all.
He's a big 6'10 center, but skills, silky smooth. They compare him to Nikola Jokic. He can score under the basket. He can shoot the three-point line. And since he's a big white fella that wears rec specs, they call him Kareem, C-R-E-A-M, Abdul-Jabbar.
Steph Blurry got me.
Yeah, that's good.
That's so creative.
Larry Nerd.
Those are brilliant.
Yeah, those are so good.
If you couldn't follow what he was saying, he has landed other nicknames. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar stuck, but that, I don't know who was calling him Larry Nerd.
That's pretty good.
But they deserve some credit for that. That's terrific.
I have
Steph.
to remember that next year for fantasy basketball names.
Oh, yeah.
For team names, that's pretty good. Larry Nerd.
Steph Blurry.
How do you come up with that? That is perfect. That is
Because
so
his
good.
eyesight sucks so much. He says when he was in high school, he tried contact lenses, couldn't get the hang of it. I've watched people haul contact lenses in and out of their eyeballs. We all have, right? I don't know how folks can do that.
I can't do it either.
I would never be able to do that.
I don't think I'd be able to.
Never had to have them, thankfully.
Yeah. I mean, I think has LASIK kind of eliminated.
Oh, it probably has.
It's
A
helped.
little bit, yeah.
But I don't know how folks can willingly stick their fingers into their own eyeballs. I give you a lot of credit for that.
Same here. And have you ever been around someone and they're like, "Oh, my contact just fell out." So you just have to deal with that now? You just can't see out of one of your eyes?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the next move is for someone when their contact falls out. The nickname I didn't get here from this Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Do you guys know a singer named Rod Wave?
No.
No, I hadn't heard that before.
Okay.
He's a rapper.
That's the favorite artist of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So some people started calling him Rob Wave. I'm glad he didn't go with that because I don't know who the guy is, and it's not very funny. The Indiana State Sycamores are getting ready for their conference tournament, so we'll get a chance to see this kid on TV, I think, in the coming days.
The men's tournaments all start next week, all the conference tournaments.
There you go. We've got a wild update coming around at 8 o'clock. Let's save all our, if you don't mind, let's save all our hockey conversation for 8 o'clock. We'll get to that wild update.
Well, basketball is front and center because the women's Big Ten tournament starts today in town.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Gopher women will play their opening game tonight against Rutgers. And I think there's a game preceding them, and I'm sorry I don't have it.
I have that in front of me, Randy
Okay.
Shaver. It's the Lady Boilermakers of Purdue versus Northwestern.
Yeah. So this starts this crazy 2 weeks of basketball in Minnesota, which is, the women's tournament sold out.
Okay.
I mean, every session is sold out. And I'm not sure when Iowa plays. I'm assuming tomorrow. I don't know.
They have a double bye.
Oh, they have a double bye.
They don't play until Friday, I believe. Friday at either 5 or 6.
You know you're good when you get a double bye.
Yes, you are.
That means you've been whooping ass.
And
Top 4 teams get that double bye.
How crazy is this going to be when you add all of those West Coast teams to the Big Ten next year for the tournaments? I mean, it's almost like you're playing a mini NCAA tournament for your conference tournament.
I've heard, I don't know if this is official, but I've heard that not every team will make the conference postseason tournament next year. That they're not going to have everybody get in.
All right.
Wow.
So you've got
that puts a lot of pressure on you in the regular season to perform that.
The ladies' tournament starts today at Target Center. Next week, the dudes' tournament.
That's right.
And then the week after that, girls high school basketball, boys high school basketball. Is that how they're playing it out?
So yeah, because this is the boys. This is the boys tournament this week, right?
Section
the hockey
or starting, yeah.
Boys hockey this week. Is it? Well, maybe the girls tournament starts next week.
Nope, girls section finals are this week. And then the high school girls are next week, and then the state boys are the week after.
How many hundreds of thousands of people are we expecting into town here in the next couple of weeks for the college basketball tournaments?
Yeah, it's going to get crazy.
Josh, you and I, we should go downtown and try to get some new stuff. You know what I'm saying?
My wife won't let me.
When we were young, we would go downtown and try to get some of that new stuff.
I can't. I'm out.
But that infers you're tired of your old stuff.
Yeah.
The look on his face was like, no kidding, dude.
Yeah. Obviously.
I mean, he's been married for months.
Wow.
Months and months.
You assume that I did not know what I was inferring right there? Hundreds of thousands of people, that's just my guess, coming to town for the next couple of weeks for the college tournaments. And then you got to get the high school games in, and then get, like Randy said, the big full-time, full-on, fully erect March Madness thing happens.
Yeah.
It's just hoops until you can't stand it no more. Golden Gopher Dudes basketball, they're at home versus Indiana tonight. 8 o'clock game time, televised on the Big Ten Network.
Such a big game tonight, and they get Northwestern on Saturday to close out their Big Ten schedule. And then they start the tournament. Now, they're sitting at 9-9 in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
If they can win these last two, they would have 20 wins overall.
Right.
They'd be 11-9. Probably would put them in the top 5 or 6, somewhere in there, of the Big Ten.
Okay.
Probably still on the outside looking in. I think they'd have to win a couple of tournament games.
All right.
To give themselves even a fighting chance to make the dance, but it's still out there.
They still have an outside chance. I talk about that double bye. If they win their last two, I'm looking at the standings here. Nebraska is in the 4th spot right now with an 11-8 record. So if you get to 11-9, you never know. You could get that double bye. That's a big deal in the tournament.
Nebraska too. Yeah, I mean, there's
if you don't have to play till Friday. Yeah, if you don't have to play till Friday, and then you only got to win 3 games to win the tournament. I mean, yeah, they got a lot to play for yet.
I'll be rooting for those bastards tonight.
It's a big game.
They've got a pretty exciting team this year. They really do.
And the sad part is I was just looking at this morning. You think about the games that they lost this year that they should have won that would put them in a much better place.
Right.
The Missouri game early on where they blew the big lead and lost the game.
Right.
The Iowa game where they had the big lead at home and lost the game. The Wisconsin game where they lost by 2 at home to the Badgers.
So my stomach just turned over.
Yeah, I mean, those. If you could just have those games back and find a way to win those games, you probably wouldn't need to have to do all that much down the stretch here. But it's like all or nothing here for the Gophers.
Even just those two, the Missouri and the Iowa game, those are the two that hurt the worst because you'd be 20-9. And you'd be in 4th place in the Big Ten right now.
Yeah.
Now we got March Madness. Jesus texting in. He's pumped. He says he'll see you at the Big Ten tournament next week, Randy Shaver, and he will allow you to buy him a beer.
That's awesome.
Really? Well, I'll have to take out what's left over from my kids' college tuition fund to do that.
Yeah, and
I'm sure it'll be expensive.
And he's done his own arithmetic here on what the Golden Gopher Dudes team needs to get into the tournament. He says they need 3 wins for consideration from the committee. Get to the title game, and they have a solid chance. I think they're just going to... He says this, I think they're just going to take the whole tournament. They just need some effing support from our hometown fans at the Target Center.
Well, obviously, if they win the tournament, they're automatically in, right?
I'd love to go. But one more note, finally, on the women's tournament starting today. We didn't mention this. If you have this Peacock set up, you can watch the games. Did you know that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Perfect.
Again, this is the way everything's going. It's going to streaming. So.
Oh, okay. Sure. I don't follow these.
And I think that's just today's games that are on Peacock. I think the rest of the tournament's on Big Ten Network.
You see what I mean? It's hard to follow.
It is.
It's hard to understand. Yeah. I want to go back to just 5 channels.
What a disaster, Brad, it would be if Caitlin Clark is not on the Big Ten Network for the tournament, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you own the rights to the Big Ten. Why in the world did you not show the most important player in college history right now?
I just pulled up the women's bracket again. It is just today that's on Peacock. The rest of the tournament's on Big Ten Network. So.
I'm rooting against Caitlin Clark.
What? No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You're the only person in America, apparently, but okay.
Why not? I mean, don't we love upsets?
Sure.
Oh, so there you go.
Well, they're not even the number one seed in the tournament.
I don't care but she's the greatest basketball player of all time. So anyone that beats her, that would be considered an upset, right? Sure. To a certain extent. All of a sudden, I'm a prick because I want to see an upset.
Well, you singled her out instead of mentioning the team. You know, a lot of people would mention the team.
Saying Iowa would probably go over a lot better in this market. Saying you want to see Iowa lose.
Yeah,
she has teammates.
Yeah, she does.
They don't get the rumor has it she has teammates.
At least 4 of them.
Yeah.
Didn't notice.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, you have to have like a wide-angle lens they got to film that with, which sometimes it seems like they don't have.
There's a lot of spacing in the Iowa offense.
I want to see
you always know where she is on the court, though, because you see 3 of the opponents trailing her wherever she's going.
That's right.
All right, so we've read a lot of, at least I've spotlighted, I guess the word might be, a lot of positive articles lately on the Timberwolves. I saw a not-so-positive article on the Timberwolves from Deadspin. They kind of pick on Anthony Edwards for him being late to the ball game the other night, which is understandable. That was silly.
Yes,
that was silly. I'm rooting against Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards was maybe somewhere in the back, not ready to come out on the floor, so Nickeil Alexander-Walker jumped out there in his place.
The title of the article is If You Can't Trust Anthony Edwards, You Can't Trust the Timberwolves. And it goes this way, it goes that way. This is a statement that I think we'd all agree with. Brad makes this statement periodically on the show to establish his negativity towards the Timberwolves. It says here, they're a very good basketball team by record. Best in the Western Conference. However, if DraftKings forced you to wager your house on who will come out of the West, I bet you wouldn't stake it on the Timberwolves. Right. Why would you? They're unproven. We all know that. We all know this. We don't need to get into it again.
Right.
But they pick on A1 from day one. They have some funny lines in here. The author says, I understand that half of Minnesota's starting 5 could spend 30 minutes eating bonbons and drinking wine in the stands and still beat this year's version of the Portland Trailblazers. But they're in a tight race for the number 1 seed. Every advantage is crucial when you haven't done anything yet. So you'd think Edwards would be able to make it to the Target Center in time enough for shoot-around, let alone tip-off. Who knows if he was playing Fortnite or what happened? All I know is Ant is really the biggest reason to trust Minnesota. Mike Conley Jr. is ancient. Cat's flailing defense gets him in foul trouble in the postseason. Gobert's tendency come April is to get played off the floor. Edwards will dictate if Minnesota fulfills the expectations of a top 3 seed in the West. He goes on to say, I can't blame guys for succumbing to bouts of apathy. I too sleepwalk through portions of my job. We all do. It's human. Be that as it may, for professional basketball players, work starts considerably earlier than when the ball is in the air, and Anthony Edwards has yet to earn the same free pass bestowed upon other established stars. And there you go.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of Wolves fans who are going to be very nervous once we get to the end of this regular season and when the playoffs begin. Because, yes, they've had a great year. There's no doubt. They're a tough team. We've seen certainly a lot of examples of that over the course of the regular season, and we'll probably see some more before it's done. However, it's not like Denver. It's not like the Clippers with the veteran experience. They have to prove themselves.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then I got titillated. I did, Cubby.
Wow. Wow.
That sounds fun.
I got titillated by another Timberwolves-related headline. One trade every NBA team wishes it could make right now. And I started scrolling down through the ABCs, got to and it didn't turn out to be terribly exciting. According to this article, the Timberwolves trade that they wish they could make right now. I thought it was going to be something like, we'll get rid of the guy at the end of the bench for Devin Booker or something.
Shea
like
Gillis.
No. Wendell Moore Jr. to the Toronto Raptors for Jordan Nwawara. Fair enough.
NWRA, is that who it is?
NWORA.
Yeah.
NWO.
For life.
He played for the Bucks.
NWORA.
You know that the Timberwolves' first-round opponent is going to be the Golden State Warriors. You know that.
He's a three-point shooter, Jordan Nwawara, and that's where they go with this, is they could use a better three-point shooter. I told you, it didn't turn out to be terribly exciting. Why do we know that they're going to be playing the Golden State?
I'm just saying, I'm predicting that that's what's going to happen.
Well, it's going to be one of those four teams. It's going to be depending on where the Wolves end up, if they end up 1 or 2. I mean, any way you look at it, Brad, any first-round opponent's going to be super difficult.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Because the teams that are
like the East.
Yeah, there's clear separation between 4 and 5 right now. So they're gonna be in the top 4, no matter if they hit a bad stretch here or not. They're still going to be in the top 4. But teams 5 through 10 is New Orleans, Phoenix, Sacramento, Dallas, the Lakers, and Golden State. Those are all tough.
Yes,
tough first-round opponents. I mean,
I hope they play Golden State so they can beat those bastards and we can send that idiot Draymond Green home and stupid Steph Curry can chew on his little mouth guard all the way out the friggin' door. What else is going on around here? Is it Barr saw Jesus? Is he playing with us? He says the guy from Toronto that the Wolves should trade for, his last name is pronounced Narwhal?
Yeah, I was just getting back to him, asking if he was kidding around or if that's true.
That's adorable. If his name is Nar. Did you guys see how many pyronis Joey Chestnut can eat?
Oh, man. Yeah, he is a talented guy. I love that gentleman.
He can eat a lot of pyronis.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and still Cavalier Pierogi champion of the world, Joey Chestnut.
I love how they
sorry, pierogies. I said pyronis. That's the crooked penis.
Yeah, I thought that was on purpose.
No.
That's a lot of those.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, man, you can eat those, huh? I had no idea.
Pierogies he ate, not pyronis, the crooked penis disease that you can catch at a urinal. I'm told.
Eating pierogies.
I'm told.
I love a nice pierogi.
Yeah, me too.
Pierogi. I don't know if I've ever consumed. At the halftime show for the Cleveland Cavaliers home game last night, he ate 39 pierogies in 2 minutes. And then right after that, he gave birth to a hand.
Whoa. I've only known one other person.
It was the weirdest effing thing.
Same here, Waffle.
That's happened on live TV before. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You like pierogies, Josh?
Yeah, I'm a fan.
What do you put in a pierogi?
I think that like
Rogies?
Potato and cheese, right? I think that's what I've had. There's a few different kinds.
Different stuff in there. They're almost like, oh boy, I just had it and I forgot of it. Pot stickers.
Pot stickers.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Yep, except they're more dense.
I like pot stickers.
Same.
Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder, hang on to something. Your favorite internet lady, Paige Spirananak?
Oh,
sure. Yep.
She's hinting that she has something, quote, legendary cooking for this year's Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue.
Okay.
Your fly is going to be going up and down like a window shade. Like a window shade.
Based on her Twitter feed, I'd like to see what would be more than what she's done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's going on? What about her Twitter?
Much left to the imagination.
Well, right, exactly.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, she gets about as naked as you can get without actually being naked.
Right.
Exactly.
She does get as naked as you can get without getting... I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Her Twitter feed's something else.
Brad, your wife might be listening. You've heard.
I doubt it.
Yeah, you've heard this before.
My wife told me this.
This year will be the 60th anniversary of the swimsuit issue. By God, it will.
Wow.
Wow.
Spirananak, who was named Maxim's Sexiest Woman Alive in 2022, and also appeared in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue in 2018. It sounds like she's going to be dumped into the mix this year along with some other all-timers. Kate Upton.
Oh, wow.
Polina Poritskova. Tyra Banks. Christy Brinkley.
Ooh.
So they're setting up for something to give way here. There are some behind-the-scenes photos going around the internet if you want to check that out. All right, so where do I have to go to see these as close to naked without getting naked pictures?
Well, are you on Twitter at all?
Social media, Twitter, Instagram.
Social media sucks.
I guess Instagram. I'm not
idiots.
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram is it's even dirtier than the Twitter.
All right. Well, just email these to me or something. I check email now. We covered this yesterday.
Yeah,
he's new to email.
I check email.
Wow. It's a new Nick.
Yeah. It's got to be.
It's corporate Nick.
He's a corporate darling.
When he responded,
always have been, haven't I, Josh?
Absolutely.
A corporate darling. I love that.
Hey, we have this.
That is what an oxymoron.
We've got this wonderful opportunity to make big money for the company, Nick. All we need you to do is go to this destination. I'm going to stop you right there. Not going, never going to happen.
Right.
That's pretty much how it goes.
Right. All right. What else is going on here real quick before we get to this pigs update? I had something set aside. No. Well, now I can get back at this jerk. We might as well fire up the pigs update. Okay. Just got a text from Jiu-Jitsu Jesus. He says, "State of hockey my ass. All this timber puppy and golden rodent basketball talk is making me sick. Gotcha, douchebag. It's time for a wild update. Are you happy now?"
He's not a douchebag. Maybe he's having a bad morning.
Douchebag.
Yeah, I've never seen him be a douchebag before.
Gotcha.
Maybe he's just having a bad morning. That's all.
Stop defending Jiu-Jitsu Jesus. We're best friends. You should have my back, Cubby. Let's get to something.
I'm trying to calm you down a little bit. I worry about your health.
Let's get him.
And by the way, I also don't want you to piss off anybody that's called Jiu-Jitsu Jesus.
Yeah, let's be smart here.
I want you to be a safe individual.
Not scared.
He's got the backing of corporate now, apparently, so he's not scared.
I got corporate backing me up. All right, the boys, the Pigs, get going again tomorrow night. They're scheduled to play a game in Arizona, who still has a pro hockey club for no good reason at all. All right, so we'll be waiting on that. The game with Arizona, boy, they need wins. By God, they need wins.
They do.
But I have some historic stuff here for you. Historic. And I don't think, Wapple, make a phone call. Do the people at the Pigs update, do they care if we include like some high school stuff? They don't care, do they?
I'm sure they don't
mind. Make a quick phone call.
I'm going to say no. Because
hello, Wild.
Our sponsor, Luther Key of Bloomington, their GM Dan is a huge hockey fan and huge stud, by the way.
Is he?
Ladies man.
Yeah.
And he, best butt in the car business. And his kids play hockey. He loves hockey. He loves every level of hockey. So he'll be cool with it.
Then he'll love this. And I'm sure the Wild will be fine with it, too. You know the term cougar?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
To describe a hot, older lady, right? Cougar.
Yep.
One night, my buddy, half man, half immersing, went to a bar because it was cougar night. We were all excited for him.
How'd he do?
He does well with the ladies wherever he goes, Ashley.
Oh.
Have you met him? That was a silly question.
Right. So, half man, half immersing, he tells us over the telephone, he says, I'm going to head over to cougar night, and I'll give you guys a call, let you know what it looks like, and if everything's cool, you guys can come meet me at cougar night. And we said, well, hell yeah. So, I don't know, an hour goes by, half man, half immersing calls, and he says, what's up? I said, well, you tell me, man, what's going on at cougar night over there at the bar? And he said, I don't know if it's so much cougar, it's kind of more saber-tooth. The term cougar, it's everywhere now. Right. It's been everywhere for years. I never knew this. I found this on a website, Summers, talking about the origins of different phrases or sayings kind of a thing. Like they covered the origin of Debbie Downer. Oh, don't be such a Debbie Downer. Apparently the origin of that phrase was from Saturday Night Live. And this and that.
That bit could be pretty funny at times.
I missed that. But it went on from there. You following? So they mention here the term cougar was coined in the Vancouver Canucks dressing room in the 1980s.
Wonder if that's true or they're joking around.
I don't know. I wish I had more specifics, but that's really fascinating to me. And when the show is over, after I talk to corporate, I'm going, because they want to talk to me, I'm going to look further into this. The term cougar was coined in the Vancouver Canucks dressing room in the 1980s.
The article mentioned wardrobe malfunction. Do you guys remember where that started? Pretty big story.
Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake, when in his apology, he called it a wardrobe malfunction when he ripped part of her shirt off.
That's great. See, now I just had a thought. And for all you people who, get uppity if we don't just completely swing from the NHL's jock for 40 minutes straight during this conversation. If you get a little uppity about, you're not talking enough hockey, I'm going to get really nerdy on you here. And some of you old school hockey fans, you might start touching yourself. So, cougar, coined in the Canucks dressing room in 1980s. I'm going to take a guess. I'm just going to take a guess how it started. In the 80s, the Canucks had a guy by the name of Tiger Williams. One of the biggest he wasn't big and bad, but he's one of the all-time fighters in NHL history. Dave Schultz, Tiger Williams, guys like that, right? He was an animal, and I'm not trying to be cute with that. I'm wondering if maybe Tiger Williams hooked up with an older lady, and since his name was Tiger, they called her a cougar.
That's a good theory.
You see where I'm going with that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was the one on the list that I was curious about, bucket list. They said that was invented by the movie, The Bucket List. I had heard bucket list before that.
Yeah,
I thought
definitely.
it came out because everyone talked about bucket list.
So had I. I had heard of that before that terrible movie came out.
Yeah. So I was wondering if some of these were jokes or what.
We just don't know, do we, Cubby?
We just don't.
The ladies' local pro hockey club beat Ottawa last night. Is the Clayboy still calling those games? My old pal?
Don't know. I haven't watched a few lately. He usually calls some of the high school games, though. I wonder if he's calling some of the high school games this week.
I should text him.
Oh, I bet he knows a thing or two about cougars, saber-toothed, pumas. I mean, you name a big cat.
Hey,
He's slayed it.
You know what? Real quick, I'm going to hand Wapple my cell phone. Don't look at the pictures. Let's call Clay. Clay Matvick.
Oh, this will be
You're
fun.
going to cold call him this morning?
Well, yeah.
Do it.
Is it
do it.
He's got kids. He's probably awake.
I bet he's sitting in his grotto right now.
Oh,
yes.
Having a
someone come
whiskey
and grab
sour or something.
You may be interrupting something.
Oh,
no,
God.
he has young kids. You're not interrupting anything.
Thank
trust
you.
me.
Wapple, call that number. See if Clay wants to come on the radio. Clay Matvick, one of my favorite people in the whole world. Most of you know who I'm talking about. He's calling hockey games and baseball. He does everything.
When you get him on the phone, ask him to go into detail about the time he and I went to Vegas.
Well,
you'll be here. You got to ask him.
Yeah.
Can we put this many people on the phone at one time? I don't know the rules around here.
Yeah, we're going to call him.
Okay, we're gonna give him a call. Total pimp, Clay Matvick. I heard him calling some of the ladies' games earlier this year. I figured it was a permanent gig, but we haven't talked. I was on the front lines of Clay Mania. Women would swoon in his presence back in the day.
I could see why. He's smooth.
Oh, yeah, he's handsome.
Obviously handsome.
You want to know how to get women to look your way? And I was lucky enough to experience this one night. You want to know how to get women to look your way? Every woman in the bar. You go have a beer with Clay Matvick and Daryl Thompson.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll see if he answers the phone. So the Pigs have a road game tomorrow night in Arizona. Friday night, they're in Colorado against Zachy Zach and the Colorado Avalanche.
Fun.
And according to Daynalysis here, Zach had another goal a couple nights ago. He now has 7 points in 14 games since joining the Avalanche. Good for Zach.
Yeah.
Great for Zach.
And they're right in the thick of the race in the West.
I hope they win the whole damn thing. I don't know if the Wild ever expected me to add that into a Wild update, that I'm rooting for the Colorado, but I don't care. I want the Avalanche to win the whole thing. No answer from Clay?
Doesn't look like it.
Fair enough.
Somebody forewarned him.
It probably doesn't help that when we call people, it shows up like unknown caller.
Well, that.
Let me text him real quick. Hang on.
Right. Brad Ryder going to use his cell phone. You could call him from my phone if you know how to do that. Here are the brackets for the 2024 Minnesota Boys High School Hockey Tournament beginning today in St. Paul down at the X.
All right.
Class A today.
Louis' last one.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We're going to get to Lou in just a minute. No doubt we're going to talk about Lou. So Class A today, Double A tomorrow. Do I hate the split classes? Yes, I do. But it is what it is.
It is.
Class A today, starting at 11 a.m. War Road and New Ulm.
Okay.
This is another one of those matchups where if we could turn it into a parents' beer drinking competition, wow, would that be something to see? I'd put my money on the New Ulm parents, and again, I don't care who you bring in. I don't care who they're up against. The New Ulm parents will outdrink any set of parents. 1 o'clock, St. Cloud Cathedral and Northfield.
Okay.
6 o'clock, Hermantown and Alexandria. And the night, the final, Matamidi and Tweederville. Some of you call it Orono. So kind of the same, what's the term again? Kind of the repeat offenders. How do I say that?
Yep, you're right. War Road, Hermantown, Orono, Matamidi.
We got the Clayboy on the phone.
Yep.
Living legend, top announcer, Clay Matvick joins the Half-Assed Morning Show. What's going on, Clay?
Not much. Greetings from Iowa, you degenerates.
This has been a good start.
Clay, I hate that. I hate that we text back and forth and we never get a chance to talk. I hate that we had to do it at 8 o'clock in the morning when you're probably busy with better things. But we got you on the line now. I'm happy to hear your voice again.
Yeah. Good to talk to you, boys. I hear you quite a bit dropping the name once in a while of the Clayboy Mansion, and brings back some pretty good memories.
Yeah, it does. Those were good memories for you. They were great memories for me.
For sure. We had a great time back in the day.
Hanging out at the Clayboy Mansion.
I've made now, but I don't know.
I've made strong hints about our Vegas trip several years ago, too, but I've not gotten into great detail.
Oh, God. My wife's in the other room. Let's keep it down.
Dang it, I wanted to hear what was going on.
Brad Ryder here says you guys, had some fun times, too. What were you just referencing before we went on the air, Brad?
No, I just said that I've made some hints about our Vegas trip years ago, but I've not really gotten into great detail about it.
It's supposed to stay there, Brad. That's the rule of
Vegas.
That's
why it will stay there. That's
got to stay there.
Your name came up, Clay, because we were. I was wondering about you calling the games for the pro ladies team here in town. Is that a regular gig for you now?
Well, here's the deal. It's the first year of the PWHL, the Professional Women's Hockey League, and they reached out back before the new year and was. Just seeing if I'd be interested in calling the home games. They're working, on a kind of a stripped down model here in year one from a broadcasting standpoint, so they're not traveling announcers. And I'm always interested in doing more hockey. I've been with ESPN for almost 20 years, and unfortunately I don't do a lot with ESPN just because we don't have a ton of non-NHL inventory, and that's kind of my wheelhouse. So I was looking forward to an opportunity to do that, and it's been great. And the PWHL has just been a great success story here in year one. Mm-hmm. And as of last night, after the shootout victory over Ottawa, Minnesota's in a tie for first place with Montreal.
There you go. That's great.
Yeah, it's been fun.
What the hell are you doing in Iowa?
Well, I got a top 25 head-to-head tonight. Iowa State taking on BYU tonight at Hilton Coliseum, and so that place is going to be just jam-packed. Mm-hmm. We tip at 8 o'clock Central Time on ESPN2 if you want to tune in. But, Iowa State hasn't been beaten at home this year. They're 17-0. And, when the people aren't in the fields getting their crops ready around these parts, they're doing a little cyclone hoop.
Careful.
And they've got a couple of loves here at this time of year: basketball and farming. And they're talking one or the other in the coffee shop this morning. And they think that this team is a Final Four team, and they make shutdown defense actually fun to watch. So it's going to be a good game tonight.
We were just talking about. Well, that ought to be great. So tonight, 8 o'clock on ESPN2, Clay's calling the Iowa State game. Okay.
Yep,
absolutely.
Yep, that's what I'm doing down here.
That's great to know. We were just talking about today being day one of the boys' state high school hockey tournament, something that you worked many times. And of course, this is the final for Lou Nanny, who you worked with at the state tournament. What are your thoughts on Lou wrapping it up?
Oh man, what a piece of work Lou Nanny is. I mean, absolute treasure for the state of Minnesota. And I was able to do, I don't know, half a dozen or more state tournaments with him. Probably more, maybe closer to a dozen. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But he was fantastic. My one story will be when I had a headache. We were about halfway through the night of the championship for the AA, and I developed this really bad headache. And he said, "Oh, don't worry, I've got something in my bag that'll clear that up." Well, of course, he got some drugs that are only sold in Canada, gave them to me, and I was flying high as a kite by the third period. I really don't even remember what happened. I don't remember who won. I don't remember the end of the game. But I'll tell you what, my headache went away.
Oh, that's incredible.
Man. The night where Lou Nanny got Clay Matvick high at the state high school.
On the air.
On the air.
Sweet Lou from the Sioux.
Yeah. I mean, what a run he's had.
60 years.
60 years. I know, Randy, he's a pal of yours, and you talked to him. You were one of the first people to get the news, I think, that he was calling it quits after this tournament.
Yeah. He's a legend. I mean, I just texted him this week. I just said, I can't imagine this tournament without you as a part of it. It's just, it's hard to believe that next year he will not be a part of the tournament in one way, shape, or form.
You expect to hear his voice.
He told me a year ago in an interview I did with him that he was going to, and I'm sure you probably saw the story, that he said, I'm going to do this state tournament until I'm like in my 90s, because he wanted to see his great-grandson be a part of the state tournament.
That's right.
And that was like his motivation. But last
year... By the way,
year,
that's still an option. He said in the article I read this morning, if his great-grandkids make the tournament, he will come back.
That would be so
awesome.
Amazing. Well, last year, the reason why he decided this is it is that he got caught in a terrible winter storm last year during the tournament. It got stranded in his car, and he said to himself, what in the world am I doing? I live in Florida, and I'm sitting here stuck on the highway in a snowstorm. And that was kind of like the motivation to say, okay, this is it. I'm done. So.
You know what I always appreciated, Randy, doing games with him was his level of preparedness. And it's not that he knew every detail about every player. It's just that he would go down and talk to the coaches, and within 5 minutes would understand the approach that the coach was going to take, and invariably throughout the game would reach back into those little nuggets that the coach handed him, and pull it back into the broadcast and use it, and he would be so prophetic so many times, and he didn't mail it in. I mean, after doing that tournament for so many years, you would think, okay, you're going to take a night off here or there. No, he really loved it. And, at the end, I mean, his voice was just as strong as it's ever been. And, we are going to miss him. He's an absolute treasure. If there's a Mount Rushmore for Minnesota hockey, Lou Nanny's face is on it. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be great to hear him coming up. He'll be doing the AA games. He mentions in this article, Lou Nanny, that his greatest memory from all these tournaments, when did he start calling them? Late 60s?
Yeah.
Right?
I think 60s. He was still doing them while he was a player.
Right.
Yes, when he was a player at the U.
Right.
That's right.
His fondest memory was the Duluth East Apple Valley 5 overtime game. Was that 93, 94 is my best guess?
Yeah, that game was crazy. I think he did that game with Wally Shaver, didn't he?
Yeah. It sounds right. I can't remember.
Yeah,
but I remember the game.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be something now to be, if it was 93, 94, if you were a kid on the ice that night, now you're 46, 47 years old, and to hear Lou Nanny say that he'll always remember the game that you played in, that would be pretty special. But he does say, if my grandkids make it, I'll come back for a guest appearance.
Yeah.
Guest appearance.
Yeah.
By the way, how do you say this company again? Soda Stick?
Yes. Yes.
Soda Stick. They've got some limited edition Lou Nanny 60 T-shirts commemorating his 60 years of calling hockey games. I think that's what the 60 mean. And if you buy one of those shirts, it'll go to charity. So, yeah, it's going to be really cool. It's going to be bittersweet. But, what a special story and what a special run.
And I hope Channel 45 celebrates him. I know they'll do a great job.
Maybe they'll hand out those pills that the same pills that Lou gave to Clay, they'll hand them out at the end of the tournament so everyone can feel no pain.
I'd like to hope the high school league does, too. I don't know if they are, but I would like to hope that they do, too.
Yeah.
Well, I believe, when do the Wild come home to play a home game? Their next home game, they're going to recognize Lou.
Oh, good.
I read that, Summers. So there you go. Clay, tell us about yourself now. It's been so long. Tell us about your family and whatnot.
Well, I got 3 kids. Jack is going to be 14 here in less than a month, the oldest. So
Get the hell out of here.
No, I can't make that up. It's unreal. It's gone so fast. Jack, Katie, and Lucy got the 2 girls, 11 and 8, right behind. And Lindsay and I think we're going to be celebrating 16 years this year, 17.
Congratulations.
It's been a pretty good run.
That is crazy to me. You got a 14-year-old. Does he listen to you?
Well, most of the time. Yeah, most of the time. When I threaten capital punishment.
You got to go extreme sometimes.
Yeah, that's right. No, but congratulations to you too, Nick. We got to get together and raise a glass here real soon.
I know we do. It's been too long. I mean, I like you said, I tell stories about you on the air a lot because we had so much fun back in the day. I mean, and I love hearing you and seeing you on television. I mean, you do an awesome job. I'd love you to, keep going until you can't go anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's been fun. It's a good gig. Beats working.
And hopefully you can keep coming back to, see Randy Shaver at his golf tournament every summer.
You know what, Randy, that's on my for sure to-do list this summer if you'll still have
you always have that college baseball that kind of interferes with the early June.
College baseball does kind of get in the way at times, and then I think you had it in August one year, and that's when the Little League World Series is going strong. So if I can pull it off, I want to do it.
We're June 3rd this year. So hopefully we can get you out.
Because that's where I ran into you last, and I almost didn't recognize you because of the weight gain,
Oh, jeez.
Was that before or after you ate all the Culvers of the golf course?
I'm kidding, of course, Clay. You looked sexy as ever when I saw you, Randy. You look great.
No, I think I look good. I think I look good heavy.
It's been a riot, Clay. We'll be watching you tonight, and we'll talk soon.
Bring home that win for my Cyclones tonight,
I know your Cyclones. I'll tell you what, this is a team to keep an eye on. I mean, they're not going to score a ton of points. They want this game in the 50s, but Hilton Coliseum is such a special place, as you know, Randy, and it's going to be packed tonight. So we'll see what happens. Should be fun.
Thanks, Clay.
Hey, good talking to you, clowns. I'm serious. We got to get together soon.
It's going to happen, son. I promise.
All right.
We'll see you later. That was one big, fat, winding Minnesota Wild report brought to you by Luther Key of Bloomington. But that was great. I'm so happy we got Clay on the phone and to talk about Lou and everything. It's one of my favorite days all week, Josh.
Yeah, he's awesome. I miss that guy. He was fun to be around.
God.
We were there before he became the Clayboy. We saw the evolution, the origin story.
We're the springboard for everyone's big career move.
Yes, you are.
Prior to that 16 years of marriage, that's where you saw him.
Yeah.
Man. All right. We got to get going again. I'm sure I forgot some things, but I can make up for it.
Nothing else important. You got it covered.
I can make up for it tomorrow. Thanks, Randy and Brad.
You bet.
Yep.
We'll be back in a few minutes here on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud. They lose control. They do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Our customers are our top priority, whether that's providing same-day service or solving a cooling issue for that addition on your home. Ashley, tell our listeners about this month's AC specials.
Get started on your spring cleaning checklist now. With the weather warming up, it's the perfect time to get your AC tuned up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get $40 off a furnace or AC tune-up, or double your savings and get $80 off when you get them done at the same time. Visit standardheating.com to save now.
Would count.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Absolutely hammered.
On 93X.
God dang, I can't believe it. Welcome back to the show, the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. It's 8:31. What a day it's been so far.
How nice was it to talk to Clay Matvick again?
Yeah.
That was cool.
That's part of what's made today very special. We got to chat with our old friend Clay Matvick. Josh and I kissed off air. We hadn't done that in a while.
It had been a while.
It was funny.
You know how it goes. Like in a relationship, after a while, the kissing goes away.
Sure.
You don't. And it's nice to bring it back. It's a level of intimacy it's a shame. It's not enough relationships anymore.
I had gotten into the other studio to call Clay because we kind of did that on the fly. His name came up. We're like, well, Nick said we should call him. So I go in and call him. And of course, he doesn't know what number is calling. It says unknown. And he answers. I say, hey, is this Clay? This is Dana from the Half-Assed Morning Show calling on behalf of Nick. And Clay just sighs and goes, what happened?
He thought maybe we had been killed.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Oh, here we go. Okay. I did have a text message I wanted to throw your way from Teacher Jesus. He wants to get involved in our radio program. I don't know if he's trying to start something, but he texted me. He calls it, this is the words of Teacher Jesus, this week's Wednesday wacky word. All right. Who wants to guess what it means? Here's the word. I'm playing along with Teacher Jesus. This week's Wednesday wacky word. The word is peniophobia. Who wants to guess what it means?
I do know the answer to that. Well, maybe I don't. I think I know the answer to that.
All right, everybody go ahead with their guess. Peniophobia.
A fear of penises.
Fear of penises is guess number 1 by Kermit. Who else is up?
A fear of small penises.
A fear of small penises.
That's real good, Ashley.
Says Ashley.
Oh, man.
Can be scary.
Fear of big. I'll always go the opposite. Fear of huge penises.
Large, oversized, veiny penises.
Yes.
By the
Dana
way,
says.
let's get rid of the huge penises. Enough already.
Stop trying so hard.
Yeah, stop. That's give away your huge penis. Is it the fear of becoming impoverished or living in squalor?
You sick bastards over there.
Yeah, what are you guys thinking?
You've embarrassed yourselves.
Darn.
Not the first time.
Josh is right. It's not the fear of any kind of penis. It's the fear of poverty. Thank you, Teacher Jesus. Now we know.
I hope that this becomes a regular bit where Teacher Jesus can teach us stuff.
Do you really want this to be? Because I'm sure I'll text him and tell him we want a regular wacky Wednesday word we can all be quizzed on.
That'd be awesome.
I'll tell you what, my folks were not peniophobes or peniophobic.
Yeah, nor were mine.
They had no fear of poverty. They embraced it.
My parents were good at it.
Yeah.
Like really good at it.
All right. Thank you again, Teacher Jesus. Ashley, you were scared by the sight of a small penis? What was there to be afraid of?
Oh, it's just alarming, shocking, more like.
Different kind of fear. It was.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have thought
confusion.
Oh,
confusion
geez.
set in.
That poor gentleman.
He was a POS anyway, so he deserved a small penis.
So I would assume like
terrible thing to say.
Yeah, nobody deserves a small penis. Nobody. And when you say, I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, what do you mean by small?
No, this you're safe, Josh. I've told you guys about this.
It was a
before.
micro.
The micro penis.
She said it was a micro, Cubby.
Yep.
You know, I'm not safe, and I wish you didn't bring it up.
You don't have a micro.
I have a mini penis.
I've told you over and over again, your penis is wonderful.
You know what? In the right lighting, it's a nice looking penis, but it's just the size is not impressive.
You need to let this go.
Maybe if you're standing over on those funhouse mirrors and make something look taller or something.
Wouldn't that be something?
I fear that on your deathbed, you're still going to be overly concerned about your penis size, and you need to let it go.
Oh, I've thought about that. Like,
I don't want
I don't want an autopsy for that reason.
Oh.
I want to make sure that they don't take my boxer shorts off when they prepare me at the mortuary. I want to be cremated fully clothed.
What if you could help other people who have small penises?
Well, dang it. You threw a wrench into
now
there.
You're trying to guilt trip the guy now?
Yeah, a little bit.
I guess.
Yeah.
He wants to be buried in the clothes that he died in.
Yes.
Do not undress me. Do not put me in a suit.
You know how some people will tattoo "Don't resuscitate"?
Yeah.
Don't disrobe.
All right, I had a couple things here for you. I even sent myself a note to remind myself. Josh, here, look at this email that I sent myself to remind me to bring up these things.
Let me see.
Read what it says. I sent that to myself.
I love that you email yourself.
What does it say?
Things. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be helpful.
No, it helped.
But did it really?
Yeah.
Because I've done that where I've written something down and I thought, I'll know exactly what that means later, and I have no idea what it means.
I emailed myself simply the word things so I'd remember to bring this up to you folks. All right. It's nothing. I don't know. I thought it looked like fun. And speaking of emails, maybe if we sent an email to the right people, we could get hooked up. Maybe this is old news to some of you. Volkswagen. Well, first things first. I know there are some radio personalities out there still. There was a lot of them 20, 25 years ago that like to pretend like a radio studio was this lawless strip joint Harley parking lot filled with cocaine and kegs of beer. And what? Am I on the air? I didn't know because I was getting a BJ. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The truth is this is an office building. It's an office building. We no longer have to play that game and pretend like we're these wild, out-of-control characters. Corporate doesn't even know what to do with us type of a... This is just an office building. So I thought this would be a lot of fun. Volkswagen has created a high-tech office chair that can zip you around the office at a top speed of 12 miles per hour.
Whoa.
That'd be fun.
Have you heard of this before?
Yeah, I think we talked about it in the stupid news.
I hate myself.
Last year, maybe. Or
now
2 years.
you've made me hate myself.
Oh, no, don't hate yourself. It's fun. You know, it's like finding $5 in your jacket pocket. I forgot I had that. It's still fun.
Somebody look this up and find out what they want in trade for an office chair that goes 12 miles per hour, because I bet we could have some real laughs around here.
That'd be so cool.
Looks like they're selling for about $3,345.
Come on.
That's expensive.
That sucks.
Well, you know how much the chairs you're sitting on are worth? Those are like between $1,000 and $2,000.
Yeah, I was
No
gonna
way.
say 1,000.
I mean, just
That's
picture
hilarious.
this.
Your butts aren't worth it.
No,
Not
not at all.
Ashley's, yours is.
Picture this. We get a hold of one of these. Okay, we'll have to wait for the price to dummy down a little bit. We'll have to wait a decade maybe. But picture this. The limited members of our sales department are sitting at their desks. They're at their computers. They don't know what's coming. And out of nowhere, Wapple and I whip past their cubicle in one of these speeding chairs, and we're in the 69 position. You know what I mean? Whoa. They were like, what the? You know what I mean? What was that?
Was that Nick and Wapple in the 69 position on a chair?
Or was that an 8-legged creature? What was that just...
Remember how fun it was when we had those motorized coolers here in the building?
Oh, a lot of laughs.
Wow.
And you could chain them together like a train. And we used to drive that thing around the building. You know, it's a big loop.
Yeah.
We go until the thing basically caught on fire.
That sounds dangerous.
We got in trouble for that because, like Josh said, we just burned these motorized coolers to the ground by cruising them around the office. And then I think after we killed the motorized coolers, I think we found out that we were supposed to give them away.
Oh.
And we had killed them completely.
We didn't know. We technically we were given permission to use them, right? But yeah, I didn't know those were going to go to somebody else.
All right, okay. I just thought, you'd get a kick out of that motorized chair. We'll see how it all plays out.
I can't believe those commercials for, I don't want to say the company brand, but I looked up those chairs that are all over TV right now. Those are like $3,000.
Can you explain?
Yeah, I don't know the chairs that you mean. The chairs that are all over TV.
They're like motorized. You can lean it back. You can even have like a cooling setting. You could have it be heated.
Heated?
Yeah.
We
Take
must
my money.
We must watch different channels because I haven't seen that one yet.
They're $3,000?
Yes.
Oh, have you ever?
Insane.
What was I looking at? I was looking up gaming chairs as a gift for somebody.
Those can get so expensive.
Yeah, and there's ones that like seem like when you go into those immersive video game, I don't know what you call it, kiosk. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about? Like
absolutely.
Like Jurassic Park has those. You sit on a bench, and they had some crazy ones like that were $10,000, $11,000.
Yep. Yeah, I have one of my gaming chairs has a pull-out like footrest, I guess.
Oh,
would be
cool.
the best way to describe it.
Josh, I know you're not an inconsiderate person. And, here we are live on air. The pressure gets to us at times. But Butcher's Hack Jesus has brought something up via the text machine. He says, Josh, Nick said something nice about your penis. Now you say something nice about his.
Well, you know what? I didn't know if you wanted me to say anything on the air, but I did write a note. Right? I don't know if you can see that. I'll boldface it. I was thinking of your penis.
Oh, wow. You did write yourself a note. This is what you were going to say to me in return?
Yeah, off air. I didn't know if you want me to embarrass you.
Can I read it?
Yeah.
In return, you were going to say, you have a hot, enviable penis.
Yeah. So thank you, Butcher. I would have felt like a jerk had I forgot, but I was on top of it.
That works for me. All right, moving on. Conspiracy theories. They're everywhere. These days,
they really are.
I'll tell you what. Suckers open up their computers, they turn on social media, and they believe every damn conspiracy theory that's thrown their way, and then they run around the streets screaming it out loud to try and convince the rest of us. Conspiracy theories.
And, maybe there's something to some of them, but some other ones you have to scratch your head and go, how did anybody convince someone of that?
All right. We're not talking about the serious stuff about the government's out to kill us all and this gives you cancer. And we're not getting into that, obviously. You know what program you're listening to. We're talking about what they refer to here, low-stake conspiracy theories. Low-stake conspiracy theories. Now, all the...
this is fun.
All the godless social media dorks put their heads together on Twitter and dumped out the low-stake conspiracy theories that they have heard. There was just a couple, 3, 4 of them that grabbed me. Some of them are kind of boring and stupid, but here we go. Tell me if you've heard any of these. PETA. Sure. People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. Is that where they go with that?
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's exactly it.
PETA isn't a real animal rights organization. It's a pro-meat funded organization that make vegetarians and vegans look ridiculous on purpose. Do you see
that would be something.
That actually makes sense because, man, they can be over the top sometimes.
Yep.
Oh, you're dead.
Yeah, I know.
Don't check Twitter today.
I haven't followed PETA's statements lately. That's Dana that said that, not me.
Yeah, that was Dana at, what is it? Dana
Wessel.
At Dana Wessel. One of my, I was inadvertently a part of a PETA demonstration.
I remember that.
Coming out of the Taste of Minnesota and walking to my car, and there was a naked lady in body paint like a tiger.
Oh, you
in a
love
cage.
body paint.
I do love body. Maybe it's where it started.
That is where you first discovered and fell in love with body paint.
It's got to be it. And I missed the message. I apologize. I try and be open-minded, but I was completely fascinated with a lady in a cage, completely nude, dressed as painted to be a tiger.
Painted, yeah.
And that was an attention getter, but I didn't care what was going on outside of that. I thought, where do I buy one of these? I want this.
Did she roar at you or anything like
No.
that? Did she show her claws?
No, I mean, she just kind of she couldn't even, how like a tiger might walk around in a circle?
Yes.
And look majestic?
Yes.
She couldn't even do that, crawl around. She was on all fours, I should mention.
Yeah.
Couldn't even, there was a small cage, and that was
so
the
she
gist, right? Hey, we're not treating tigers very well.
Right. She can't even move in there.
No, she wasn't. I mean, what if she was purring? I would think, okay, this is a bit. There's no way this is part of some sort of campaign to let us know, hey, animals aren't being treated as they should, something like that.
Did she mark her territory for you?
No. Can you imagine that?
Oh, I mean, we want to make it as believable as possible.
I will pay any amount of money for that. Where do I get one?
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Yeah, okay, before we had to take a break, before I lit up this big fat joint I got going over here.
Oh, heck yeah.
Before that, we were talking about low-stake conspiracy theories. That's the verbiage they used on Twitter. Low-stake conspiracy theories and other serious stuff. We're all going to die, and the ocean's going to swallow us, and the politicians are going to silly stuff, low stakes stuff. We were talking about that. I got a few more here I want to cover with you. Tell me if you've ever heard of these conspiracy theories and which side you're on. Women's clothing. All right, Ashley, women's clothing are designed with tiny or no pockets. Why, Ashley?
So that we have to buy purses.
In order to sell more purses and handbags.
Oh. Yeah, I refuse to buy jeans anymore that have the fake pockets in the front. I need some real pockets.
That is a common complaint I hear from women is like any type of clothing, dresses, nothing has pockets in it.
That's why girls will go out of their way. Like if a girl compliments a dress I'm wearing and it has pockets, she's going to know.
Yeah, it's the first thing you say. You put your hands in them too. You're like, look, pockets.
I'm like, look at that. That's so cool. And it's always the same reaction. They're like, no way.
Where'd you get it?
I didn't know women thought about such a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would suck not to have pockets.
I didn't know your clothes lacked pockets.
Yep. It's stupid. Especially because I'm not a purse person. I just never have been. And so like I'm just stuck carrying everything in my hands.
Oh, is that what you do?
Yeah.
So do you think they're trying to make you go run out and buy a Gucci
handbag?
Are they making you do that?
Yeah,
You
they're
think so?
making me.
Food. Expiration dates on food, makeup, and medicine are greatly exaggerated, so you'll throw things away and buy more.
My wife is a staunch believer in that.
Yeah, I am too, actually.
Then you can kind of push the envelope, push it down a little bit down the road.
Oh, did you say a little bit?
Yeah.
How about a lot of bit?
Okay.
I don't know anything about
spores. It's good to go.
I don't know anything about makeup or medicine.
I didn't know that makeup could expire, so I'm a little worried about that.
Yeah, it's kind of like drugs. They have like half-lives.
But I've taken big gulps of spoiled milk and bitten into some moldy chips and sandwich meat and whatnot. So I don't think expiration dates are any kind of a scam. I think they're fairly honest about that.
I'm with you. Well, you know what? And if it is a scam, I'm not going to risk it. I've had food poisoning 3 times. It's absolutely miserable. My wife basically will let it walk away before she'll throw it away.
Sure.
One of my favorite memories of hanging out up at St. Cloud State was when everybody was a freshman, so they're living in those garbage dorms. Now they're probably fancy as hell, but back in our day, they were garbage. And, you come back to the dorm, everybody's drunk, and one of my buddies reaches into his mini fridge in his dorm room, and he pulls out on top of the fridge, he had a big bag of Tostitos, and in the fridge, he had a jar of that salsa, right? And he's starving because we've been drinking beer for 12, 14 hours. And he unscrews the top on the salsa and he puts the lid, the top, on the top of his refrigerator. And he's just windmilling chips and salsa into his mouth as fast as he can. He's just dying. He hasn't had anything to eat all night, been drinking. And we looked at the lid from that salsa jar, and there was 2 3/4 inches of green mold on it.
No.
And he's just yucky. And we said, take a look at the lid. I'll follow all your expiration dates. Fine, I'll be your sucker.
Yeah, I'm a sheeple as far as that goes.
I'll be your sheeple on that. I'm not going to, it says March 9th, but I'm going to push it to June.
Oh, that's just the sell-by date.
Oh, gross. Especially when it comes to dairy or meat.
I don't know what this means because I don't follow all your fancy computers. But here's the next minor conspiracy theory that some folks have out there. Tell me what I'm saying here. The companies that make antivirus software are the same companies that create computer viruses. You cannot sell antivirus software without the viruses.
I've wondered that myself.
Yeah. I have too.
I mean, who better?
Yeah.
Who better to come up with something like that?
Yeah, they sell they sell the drug and they also sell the cure.
I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like, you can grow up, you're a hacker, right? You're a scofflaw on the other end of and all of a sudden you get hired by the government or a company like this to stop folks like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've wondered about that one.
Yeah, isn't the guy that does our security training videos, he was like the biggest hacker in the world.
Yeah.
And now he's just working for our
That's
company.
right. Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Well, here's an interesting question from Citing Jesus. Back to expiration dates. And yes, we understand. People are texting in saying use by date and best by dates on food are different. Of course, we're not 11 years old. We know that. But here's an interesting question from Citing Jesus on expiration dates. He says, you don't find it odd that 20 years ago beer didn't have expiration dates on it and now it does? No, I've never thought about such things. Does anyone know?
Well, probably a lawsuit, right? The same reason on everything's written on.
Exactly.
On stuff. German Jesus said condom expiration dates are a scam too. You're telling me I have to throw 90% of the condoms in the trash every 4 years? I don't think so. He doesn't think so.
No.
When it comes to beer, though, I mean, have you had an expired beer before? Because you can tell immediately.
Like a skunk beer?
Yeah, it gets so skunky and gross.
Yeah. I'll admit that a couple times it took me more than 4 or 5 swigs to realize it, which is sad, but
I get it.
Oh, yeah, we've all had skunk beer, of course. But, okay, there you go, Citing Jesus. Cubby says it was probably a lawsuit. It's not a conspiracy.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but it seems to me like anytime something's written on the side of something you buy and somebody sued somebody.
Right. You got to remember the day and age we live in. People are just drooling at the thought of suing a company for something. They're touching themselves over the thought of suing somebody.
However real it is or isn't, just make something up. Go for it. That's what happens.
Have you guys ever had like a Twinkie or something and it says Best Buy and it's 10 years from the date you bought it?
No.
Have you guys ever wanted to wait until that date or...
What, did you say a Twinkie?
Yeah.
Who can wait to eat a Twinkie? I mean, as I'm walking out of the store, I'm eating the Twinkie.
Right.
But I really want to know if it actually is Best Buy.
Well, I'll tell you what,
5 years from when I bought it.
time is on your side. If you have, get back to us in 11 years.
Yeah, I'll buy a Twinkie. I'll get back
and tell us if that Twinkie or Snowball still packed the punch that it did in 2024. Now, in this last example from this article on minor conspiracy theories, it names a particular superstore type of a place. I'm not going to use the name. But just to give you an idea, they're basically saying here that a big famous grocery store parks fake cars in the parking lot to make it look more popular than it is.
Boy, I don't know. I've been to that store. I'm a fan of that store, and it's as popular. Those lots can get insane. There's overflow lots, and it's ridiculous.
Come on. What do you think? They have the brand new 16-year-old kid. Okay, who's going to park the fake cars before we open it? Call Donnie. He's the guy who always parks the fake cars before we open the doors.
And, if that's the thing, too, like, if I see the lot look like that, I'm like, I guess I'm going tomorrow.
I choose not to go,
I am kind of, sometimes I'll drive to work, and I'm kind of amazed at how many cars are in, like, 24-hour grocery store lots.
Oh, that would be my mom.
Who are these people?
Drug dealers.
3 in the morning.
Well, what you have to remember, Wapple, is there's a staff in there. They drive to work, too. You got the 6-8 people doing this.
Yeah,
you got the guys in the back with
they have a back lot where, they're not parking with
That's
the
a conspiracy
too.
theory that they have a back lot. There is no back lot. There is no back lot. You just keep hearing on social media that there's a back lot. All right, a couple listeners texted in. Real quick, then we got to go on conspiracy theories. One listener says, I had a coworker who believed with all of his heart that the Titanic was sunk on purpose. Does anyone know why the Titanic might have been sunk on purpose?
No clue.
So, like 80 years later, they can make a very successful motion picture starring Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's why they did that.
That was a good one.
Forward thinking.
It was good. One listener here says, mattress stores. There's no way people are buying enough mattresses to have 3 of them within a 10-block radius. It has to be a front for something.
I've had that thought.
I have too, because we recently were shopping for one, and we have like 3 or 4 places right next to us.
Yeah.
And we haven't shopped for one in 19 years.
And every time you go and shop for one, it's like you and one other person in the store. They're never busy.
And that other person's there to buy drugs, so they're waiting for you to leave so that they can safely buy their drugs.
I've wondered that about car dealerships too.
Yeah.
There's so many. I mean, how often do you buy a car, right? I mean, it's such an expensive purchase, and there's all these car dealerships everywhere.
And then they're hauling them everywhere. It's like, wait, so you just went from one lot to another lot?
I don't know what you meant by that, but I like the way you talk sometimes.
Yeah. I wonder.
And they're on the road?
Yeah, it's just a front. It's like, look at how many people are buying cars. You need one. We're moving them now.
He does come off kind of silly sometimes, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's fun. I love it.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're going to get.
No, you don't. You're special, man. You're special. You're awesome. Happy 40th birthday to Smokin' Hot Top End Rebuild Jesus from Outpunted His Coverage Jesus. Shout out to Larissa for her birthday. Wicked Angel Jesus wishes her amazing husband, Wicked Ways Jesus, a very happy birthday. And then happy birthday to my mommy.
The 93X FM Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Get started on your spring cleaning checklist now. With the weather warming up, it's the perfect time to get your AC tuned up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get $40 off a furnace or AC tune-up, or double your savings and get $80 off when you get them done at the same time. Visit standardheating.com to save now.